Never before have we had greater face a complex, rapidly changing world. Think of it a moment.
It is a world in which supersonic speeds are commonplace. It is a world that has seen the coming of the atomic bomb. It has seen the rise of the total state, the dictator, and the mass man. It is a world of new sensations, new excitements, new distractions.
So much to be learned by so many in so little time.
And I suppose you're here with no agenda, as per usual?
On the contrary, I'm here for comics. What kind of man are you anyway? I'm talking comics and you bring up chicks and romance?
Some days it wants to throw us over normal. Oh, and I gotta add you, of course, because I was in a flurry to get this all out, to get you guys a nice looking produced show. Let's see, before I continue my bitching, there is, drum roll please. There he is.
There I am.
Here. All right. Awesome.
Hey, I do exist.
Wow, and then it was doubling up there. Sorry about that, guys. It's the internet. It's our streaming setups. I mean, if you've been watching Wolf over here on his solo streams, you'll know that he's not exactly a pro at this either.
No, he is not. He most certainly is not.
Until we start making the big bucks, we're gonna be winging it deep here in episode 62. But guys, aside from that, we are an hour late, but I still want to welcome you to tonight's episode of Foil Variant. I am Mav. You might know me as Spencer. I'm joined by my co-host Andrew. You might know him as Wolf. I don't know why I'm doing an intro like this. I guess I'm doing an intro like this because I'm sort of thrown for a loop today, Andrew. Like genuinely. I'm not even just doing like an intro bit. This is unrehearsed.
Yeah.
The news coming out of Marvel today, which will probably take up a giant chunk of our time tonight, is just, it's one of those moments where it's like, you never saw it coming. Yeah, exactly. Like, just bow down. Maybe we're gonna finally see some change at Marvel.
Maybe. There's still a couple more names that need to get the boot.
But guys, the fact that Marvel Comics has announced a shakeup at editor-in-chief is massive news, just across the board. Obviously, we'll get, opinions, reactions. I really want to pick your brain, Andrew, from a actual publisher perspective, since you work obviously for Rippaverse. But it's crazy. I don't know. Again, I felt dirty typing, or not again, but just to let you guys know, I felt dirty typing out tonight's headlines, titles, whatever you want to call them, because it's 20 years later, Spider-Man Brand New Day might have actually paid off for Marvel, which is an insane thing to say, but it's one of those cause and effect. We'll see. We'll get into it, obviously. How could we not? But the reason that that's sort of mainly occupying my mind is that even though we got comics this week, there's not a lot to talk about, honestly. I know you caught up on some absolute absolute Catwoman.
I did. I read both issue 1 and 2.
That I think we should talk about, because it's weird to finally be saying good things about this book. You know what I mean?
It is.
And yeah, guys, we're finally going to start, well, maybe praise is too strong of a word, but we finally have better things to say.
I'm finally not annoyed or bored with it.
And I'm kind of excited by it. There were points in this week's issue where I was like, oh, I like that. Oh, that's awesome. Mm-hmm. So we'll definitely get into that. There's been, aside from the big EIC shakeup over at Marvel, we did get the big release of, or I guess you could say the biggest release of the week is Avengers Armageddon #2. I do want to talk about it it's an interesting thing, and I definitely want to talk to you about it, Andrew, because it leaves me feeling weird. Let's just put it that way, right? But Aside from that, I don't know, Andrew, I'm rambling over here. How are you? What do you want to talk about tonight? What are you excited to talk about?
I'm doing pretty not bad. Got a lot going on. But there was some good. I guess I could say there were some good comics this week. There weren't that many comics this week. Most of my reading was getting caught up on stuff from last week, or the week before, or the week before that.
I woke up this morning because I unfortunately didn't get to reading my stack yesterday. Obviously, if you guys couldn't tell, it's kind of been it's a little busy over here right now. But where was I going with that? I don't know where I was going with that. Keep going. I completely brain farted there. Holy shit. So
I managed to catch up on all 3 Sonic related books that I had. So I caught up on I did. So I read that. I read which I have thoughts.
I definitely want to talk about it.
I got caught up on, what was it, issue 3 of the Sonic and Justice League crossover, which the paneling in that book is really good. The art, for the most part, is really good, except, and I always forget the artist's name, I really hate how he draws Superman. He just looks so weird.
I don't know how to put like a stamp on it, right? Like I know exactly what you're saying. You and I have been talking about that since
he looks like a Ken doll or something.
Yeah, like, here guys, I got you. Don't worry, I got you on this one. But I only have, that's why it's all weird, because I'm in the wrong one. Hold on, guys. Hold on. There we go. I was in the solo setup. That's why it was for when you're not here. So that's why it was ping-ponging us to all these weird things. So, but yes, this is the latest issue of DC X Sonic Metal Legion. The artist, I always forget their name as well. It is, where's the credit for this issue? Where are the credits for this issue?
Oh, I think the credits actually are in the very back for this one. I've noticed there have been a few comics lately that have done that, which is really strange.
Maybe
really
they're not in the digital one. That's interesting.
Huh.
All right, I can tell you guys that the artist's name is Thomas. That's their last name. So yes, the way Thomas draws Superman, as you guys can see there, is like, it reminds me kind of what we talked about when we were reading, whatchamacallit, the Naruto TMNT, right?
Oh yeah.
Like, clearly he's going for the more anime-y, big-eyed, like Sonic style with them. It just doesn't work for Superman. Like,
he looks
young.
It's so strange to me and off-putting to me, and jarring, honestly, because all the other leaguers, for the most part, blend in well enough, but he, for some reason, just looks completely off and out of place to me, and it just throws me off every single time I see him on the page.
It's too, like, what? I didn't mean to put that on top of us. I meant to throw that in the back of us. 1 second, guys. We're still here, I promise. Dust, mind our dust, yada 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 yada. We'll get into the swing of it in a second. There we go. There's our dark background back. He draws him like, you and I have talked about this before. Like, Superman isn't supposed, like, even if, how do we put this? Like, Superman's got a look, like, he's supposed to be like strong and wide, and like, you look to him and you feel like inherently like safe, like a big teddy bear almost. And this is kind of like New 52 Superman, right? Where
I was literally about to say, he looks like almost a prettified or Kenified like version of New 52 Supes.
Yeah, he's like a Bishoju version of them.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So I was hoping it would get better in this series, because that was a big complaint you and I had throughout all of the original, and I would have figured more people would have. But unfortunately, I mean, it's not bad art. Don't get me wrong, guys. Like, look at that flash in the background.
No, it's nice and dynamic. It's great.
It's
like,
really
even
good.
you have the more manga-esque like speed lines instead of just your standard lines.
You know
on
what?
Flash there.
You know what I would have changed about this one page though? That's always bugged me. Why is Woo still highlighted? We don't need that. Is I would swap Knuckles and Shadow. Because you don't notice Knuckles is there because he's blending in to
he blends in with Sonic. Yeah, Flash
so
Sonic.
I always have to remind myself, like, oh yeah, Knuckles is there too, right? Like, and And nuggets.
I agree with that.
But yeah, so you caught up on those. What else you got? What else you got before I jump to the chat and get the show on the road?
I finally got around, and it's only been out for, a week, but I finally got around to reading what might honestly be at least top 3 Sonic comics of all time. That 35th anniversary one-shot
I was going to say, it's
incredible.
not that... Like, I liked the Godzilla issue, but I don't know if I liked it that much.
No, that 35th anniversary one-shot was amazing. It was like it was ripped right out of the old Sega Genesis games in tone. All the characterization was fantastic. Like, the art was beautiful. The pacing was great. The paneling was amazing, which is something that I have as a major criticism of the Sonic and Godzilla crossover one, because the paneling was actually kind of boring for me.
It's a big... Yeah. It definitely was.
It was just like a lot of simple like block panels. There were pages like, oh, there's only 2 panels on this page. They're both boxes.
And it's like, okay, you can do that, but you're not. They weren't optimizing it. You know what I mean? It was just.
The story itself was fine. I mean, it's your typical crossover. There's not much story yet there. Maybe there will be after issue 2 or something.
Actually, like honestly though, like I feel like there's less story in this. Like this is one of those like very much throw you into it. And we'll get to that plot later, sort of crossovers. Sort of the opposite of the Justice League ones, right? Yeah. So I'm definitely here for it. And I also wonder, will we eventually see a Sonic, JLA, Godzilla, TMNT crossover? Because...
Just throw them all together.
They've all crossed over with Sonic now, right? So who knows how that'll go?
A lot of those have also crossed over with each other. Right, so TMNT is crossed over with DC, like with Batman. The Justice League has also crossed over with Godzilla, right? And I'm still waiting for them to release a freaking hardcover of the second one. I don't know why they still haven't, but that first event was like incredible. This was just stupid.
I don't know
fun.
why they haven't done number 2 yet. That's a good question.
I got nothing. I don't know why.
I didn't hear anything bad about that series.
Let me give
I
you
haven't
money.
read it yet. Yeah, exactly, right? Like I have no idea what's up with that. So I am glad you read that 35th anniversary special. I'm glad it turned out to be everything we were sort of hoping for. Did your shop get any of those foil prints in?
No.
All right, then I officially have to go get you one because that's insane that you don't have it. Like it.
Yeah, my
it's
shop
gorgeous.
only
You'll
had the
love it.
standard cover,
Which is bizarre to me. But then again, all shops are different demands at different shops. We know it's not against the shop. It just welcome to the comic book business. Am I right? But aside from that, I think we have all of our issues ironed out. I think our audio is good now. Guys, I know Andrew was a little hot for some reason. Don't know why. I know I was low. Don't know why that was happening either. Hopefully that's all ironed out now. I know Andrew's not doubling up now either. That's a weird kink that's probably only going to exist at the very opening 2 seconds. Don't worry about it. I think we're good. I think we are officially ready to kick off our show tonight. Andrew, what do we want to start with news? Do you want to hit news last? Because I know you and I will get into it. We could hit
I think we do the news last. We do the news last.
So then.
That way we can actually get through some books.
Some actual comic books, right? So, with that said, Andrew...
There aren't that many books to talk this week.
But there's some things we should talk. We are, of course, primarily a comic book, weekly comic book show, so we should be talking the new releases.
Absolutely.
But before we do, let's say hello to everybody who's in the chat, who has joined us so far, who helped us out with all of our tech issues. Obviously, we have Punk saying... good night, but I can't tell if Punk is doing that as like a good day type of greeting, or if he's actually like saying good night. Either way, what's up, Punk? Happy to have you. Zero is here. He was the one who helped us out with our tech feedback, so thank you so much, Zero, for both that and for hanging out with us tonight. Subhuman, yes, you also helped us out with the Wolf microphone. Happy to have you, buddy. We also have, of course, the ever lovely Mary checking in from the Room of Requirement channel account. Go subscribe to that if you guys love Andrew and Harry Potter, because you can find tons of both on there, as well as Mary, but I thought that was already implied. Let's see. We have Nexion with us. He says, looks like that's a good point. I didn't even put that together. He says
some similar facial shaping there.
Yeah, and it's just... I kind of like the one in My
No,
Adventures
he's got a
with
little
Superman
bit more of a cleft chin than My Adventures
he
with
looks
Superman.
so
My Adventures with
baby-faced
Superman
here.
looks more anime.
So here's the problem that with this Superman, and I've seen this before in art.
Those
I don't
eyebrows, man.
It's not even the eyebrows; it's the eyelashes.
And the eyelashes, yeah.
Because when you're doing a simplified art form, guys, putting a little wingtip like that is a very easy way to imply like eyelashes for female characters. You simplify it. You, of course, men also have eyelashes. A lot of people were calling out like, oh, he looks so feminine. Like, why does he look so gay? But they couldn't really articulate it. And I took a look at it, and for some unexplained reason, they like emphasized lashes on He-Man. And again, like, I'm not implying any sort of like demasculating conspiracy theory or anything. It's just like that's not the art choice you go for there. So yeah, that's what's happening. And then yeah, he like emphasizes his lips a little bit too much. The cleft chin doesn't help. I don't know. It's not great. Not my type of Superman, but it is what it is. The book is still good. I'm still having a lot of fun with it. But let's see. With that all being said, where did I throw? Oh, there's the chat box. All right. I will save your comment, Subhuman, for when we finally get to the news. But with that all said, Andrew, what did you pick up in physical this week? Anything cool you want to show off?
Oh gosh, a lot of them are already bagged, boarded, and tossed in my my short boxes. But I got the latest issue of Darkness, the Sonic X.
Tell the folks, I have to go. I left my water bottle down at the kitchen. So
oh, good.
Vamp for the folks. I gotta go grab that.
Everything. Sonic X Godzilla crossover, Absolute Flash number, what was it, 17? I think is what we're on this week. You know what? I could probably look at my League of Comic Geeks app too, couldn't I? Like a person of intelligence. Let's see here. Come on. There. What did I have this week? So, Absolute Flash 17. I also got the 2 variant covers for that. I really need Absolute Flash to stop having really good variant covers. Because I keep wanting to get them. Darkness number 6, which I still need to. I haven't read past the first issue, so I basically now at this point I think got an entire arc that I can read, which is kind of funny. Lady Mechanica, Mechanical Menagerie number 3, got that, and Sonic X Godzilla. So those are the ones that I got. So in terms of like unique books, I only had 1, 2, 3, 4, but then I had 2 additional covers for Absolute Flash. So that's what I had physically this week. I got caught up on Sonic and DC Metal Legion. I read the 35th anniversary one-shot for Sonic, which is incredible. Absolutely incredible. I got caught up on Absolute Catwoman as well, which I surprisingly am really enjoying so far. And I'm not going to lie, I thought I was going to hate it. Because most people who watch us know that I'm not a Selena Kyle fan. I actually hate Catwoman. Unless it's Batman the Animated Series Catwoman. And even then, like, she can get tossed off a roof. Just, like, not as violently as most other variations of the character. But I actually like Absolute Catwoman, oddly enough. She's more interesting. She's more scrappy. She's, for lack of a better term, part of my friends, less of a bitch. Or, like, at the very least, the type of bitch that she is more of, like, you're actually kind of cool and entertaining rather than just being insufferable. So I'm really shocked that I'm enjoying that book, but I'm glad that I'm enjoying it. I'd rather enjoy the things that I read, right? It's like I'd rather enjoy the things that I play or the things that I watch rather than not have a good time with them. So yeah, I'm genuinely shocked that I'm enjoying Absolute Catwoman. just because it's Catwoman. But Scott Snyder is one of the writers on it, so that helps. I like a lot of what he does, at least when it comes to DC. So
I have no idea where my water bottle went. Like, I am legitimately... I don't
well,
know. I had to run downstairs and get a glass. But, let's see.
Did you hear anything I said?
I did, and that's where I was like, let me. How do I want to say this? Because I'll just show off what I got really quick, because obviously, you know me, go into the physical
Did
covers.
you pick up the foil variant of the Catwoman?
I didn't, because
The second printing?
Care Andrews is very hit or miss with
you?
me.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like the one he drew that makes her look more like a bat-y with those ears. I liked it, just not enough to spend what little funds I have right now.
I got you.
On an extra one.
I got you.
But I had to. It was a DNA week. There were a lot of
was it
color
really?
blocks. Yeah. And
Hot
this isn't
damn,
even all
okay.
of them. There was a Captain America one, I think, and
I saw the
something else.
Captain America one.
Oh, it's not DC, or it's not a color block one, but he had that Wonder Woman like sketch cover that
Yeah.
I still couldn't pick up because, like, yes, it's Stephanie Williams and it's not technically Tom King, but it's still related. And I just,
right. It's still technically part of King's run, isn't it? Because he's not done.
yes, no, it's the same story. Yeah, he's just taking a break or what. He's gonna go work on Lanterns, which we'll talk about later because
Oh God.
that man doesn't know when to shut the hell up. But
Seriously.
like, yeah, I don't know. I love the DNA color block stuff. I like that he does it across publishers. I think that's cool that
Yeah.
they let him do that. But yeah, I just wanted to show that off. But okay, I wanted to run through that really quick, guys, because I just wanted to show off the triple blue. But I did want to ask you your thoughts on Absolute Catwoman, if I can find her book. Where are you, girl? There we go. All right, let's jump over to talk about some books. All right. Yes, as you were saying, I know you are not a fan of Catwoman. We've discussed that many, many times here, to the point where I can't even show Andrew like a cheesecake cover of Catwoman because like he'll just be like, I don't care. Like, shut the hell up and get out of my face. Like,
I'm a red-blooded male, but you show me Selena Kyle, I'm like, get it out of me.
like Frank Cho right now is doing he's been doing a variant cover for every Catwoman issue. And I can't show him to Andrew because he's just like, I don't care. Why is this book still going? Get out of my face. And I'm like, you know what?
Right.
It's fair. It's fair. I'm not going to be mad about it. I mean,
Wait, she still has a solo series?
I'm very surprised by it. Yes, she still has her solo is at 89, I think. One just came out this week. Here, let me look it up because...
Is that book going to be one of the few to hit an issue 100?
That's what I was going to bring up to you. Hold on, let's see. Yeah, she hit 89 this week. And that's what I was like, I saw that and I went, oh my God, is she going to hit 100? And that's where I'm like, it could go either way at this point, right? Like,
Right.
I could see the book getting canceled due to whatever, right? Like an event, an initiative, yada, yada, yada. But I feel like at 89, I could also see DC just being like, we're going to go for it. Like it's 11 more issues. Who cares if it's not selling at this point? Like,
if it's not selling, that's when you tell who's even writing it.
it is, who is it? It's not, I don't even know her work, but it's Torun Groenbeck. Like, here, I'll show
Never
you.
heard of her.
I know. Here, I'm going to show you the browser I'm looking at. That's her.
Okay.
So like,
yeah,
like
I'm not
full
familiar with her.
full on Nordic like name. So I don't. Hopefully I pronounced that right. But she has written Venoms, Red Sonjas. Let's see.
Interesting.
I
I think at 89 issues, what you do is you say, okay, if it's no longer selling one, oh gosh, you basically say, all right, wrap it up by issue 100. We'll let you get to issue 100.
That's what I mean. Yeah. But even
wrap it.
But I also feel like for DC, they would want to get there because then they can. Not only can they dunk on Marvel, because then they can go, it's not just Spider-Girl anymore. Or it's like, what? Spider-Girl, Silver Age Wonder Woman, and Silver Age Lois Lane. So modern era comics, it's only been Mayday Parker, Earth, what is it? Earth, oh my God, Earth 2? Is that what it is? Oh my god.
Earth 2 for which book?
For like, what is that timeline now? Like, is it MC2? The Spider-Girl timeline? Where, like, the future keeps going? Is it MC2? I think it's MC2. I think whatever I said before might have been...
That might be
Earth,
right.
Earth 2 is obviously, like, DC.
Yeah,
so I think
DC,
that's where I'm getting...
But you know what you were talking about.
Yeah. So, yeah, so it's only Spider-Girl, and so now they can have the chance to go, look, we got, Catwoman made it too. They don't need to have any asterisks on it, right? Like, yes, we could technically go like, oh, it wasn't really selling well near the end, or, oh, they just kept publishing it to get the record. But at the end of the day, a W is a W. And they can just go...
so I just double-checked it, and you were right. Yeah, it's MC2,
Got it.
but its technical, like, numerical designation is Earth 982.
982, that's right, because it's...
But it is also
started in
referred to
1998.
MC2.
Yeah, MC2. Okay, I knew I was on the money somewhere, because it's a fun... Guys, go read Spider-Girl. Like, it's a genuinely good
90
series.
Spider-Girl's that's a good book.
It's a really, really good book. It's kind of... It's my canon end to Spider-Man. Or at least, like, the canon post-Spider-Man part of Peter's career, to me. Right? Like, I'll go be a police detective. Like, it just makes so much sense. So genius. Tom DeFalco, so genius. But that aside, back to Catwoman. So, yes, Andrew is not a fan of Catwoman. You guys all heard that he would just throw animated Catwoman off the building a little lighter, right?
Yeah.
A little
I
lighter.
wouldn't do it out of anger or anything.
It would just be more like the like shove. Like the get out of my face, right? Like, or like the I'm not gonna talk to you, like womp. But with the others, you'd be like give him some gusto to like get him off there. So that said, we are now 26 issues into Absolute Batman proper. We are 2 into Absolute Catwoman. Ladies and gentlemen, what do you think? How are you feeling about Absolute Selina?
I actually really like it.
That is... I'm glad. I am
really
very,
like
very
this
glad
book.
you do. I am very, very glad you do.
I at least wanted to read the first issue and just be like, okay, so at least I can say I've read the first issue of most of the Absolute line.
Right.
I read the first issue of Absolute Green Arrow. It was interesting, but I wasn't hooked enough to be like, I have to get the next issue like right away.
This week's issue surprisingly drew me in. You know, like, because I was with you, right? It was like, okay, pretty bog standard, whodunit, mystery killer, or whatever. But like, issue 3, and maybe we'll quick hit it if we have time. Doubtful though. But this was a good issue. I really liked it. Maybe I'll tell you about what I liked when we're done here. But
yeah, so I read the first issue and I was like, all right, I'm gonna at least read the first one. But then I finished the issue. I was like, I really like this, and so I just immediately cracked open the second one. I was like, I've already got it here, so I may as well just get caught up. This is not just a fun version of Catwoman, of Selina, but it's also just a fun story so far, because this is the kind of thing you do with the Absolute Universe.
Yes.
You take the idea of the character and you don't make it completely unrecognizable. It still, at the end of the day, needs to be that character, but you do need to tackle it from a new angle.
It has to have something like you
have to turn it over. You have to flip it over. You got to spin it around. You got to do something that makes people look at it and say, this is the character, but this is a totally different way of looking at this character and approaching the idea of this character. Right? Not just like, hey, I'm just going to do a palette swap, or I'm just going to change the costume. No, it's got to be deeper than that. And it's got to be both recognizable and new.
And more than just, we complain about this all the time that they normally do with multiverses, where it's just like this character as other character. Like, that's not, so for example, Punk brought it up, actually. He bought the Jessica Jones What If that came out yesterday. I skimmed through it because the premise is, what if Jessica Jones was bitten by the spider that gave Peter Parker his powers, right? Because they went to the same high school, fun little... Maybe not fun. Like, I kind of think it's a really weak premise. In this What If so far, we've had 2 really good entries, which is like, what if Scott stayed with Madeline Pryor, which is crazy, and then what if Peter was the one saved from Secret Wars instead of Miles, right? And so what you're seeing there is completely different, like, differing event timelines, like splits.
Right.
In this one, it literally is just, what if Jessica Jones had spider powers? She's still her same self. I don't know, like, it doesn't
That's
do
like,
anything with
what
it.
if the Green Lantern ring chose Bruce Wayne or something? It's like,
But see, even that's a little better, because it's like, oh, what would Batman do with a Green Lantern ring? But imagine if
he'd be unstoppable.
right, like
That's
imagine
how
if they
get Dawnbreaker.
what yeah, and what imagine if they just went like, what if like, what if Barry Allen was chosen by the ring, right? Like, okay, so he doesn't become the Flash, so now he's just a Green Lantern. Okay. Oh, so the universe develops all the same. You still have a Wonder Woman, a Batman, a Flash. It's just not you. It's the Flash's hat. Like, those are boring, right?
Yeah.
Like, but this, like you and I have always said, like, they are doing with the absolute universe what we want to see, which is, core of that character, but they're putting a twist on it. And I can't think of a character so far that I haven't liked it for. I know you haven't seen or you haven't read Green Lantern or Martian Manhunter yet, but everything else, like, have you come across any absolute depiction that you just absolutely hated? Aside from our, and let me put this concession, like, yes, we didn't like the early Flash book, or like Absolute Flash. Set aside the writing, I guess, and look, I guess, just sort of at what Lemire did with that concept, right? Like, what he did with the
Like,
Flash.
at least on paper, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I can't think of anything that I was just outright like, well, that's a stupid premise, or that's a stupid idea.
I think
there's been like stupid execution.
very, very stupid executions. Honestly, I think on my
like the first dozen issues of Absolute
Flash, and honestly, like, the Rogues are probably the weakest to me, because they are kind of just 1-to-1 almost.
They're kind of just the Rogues, except they lean more good guy than they do bad guy.
And their powers are more modernized, right? Like, Boomerang's thing is a alien thing instead of just tech. So, yes, so you're a fan of what they're doing here with Selina.
I am a fan of this Selina. I also like her bike that transforms into like a panther-looking transformer thing. Like, that's it looks like the freaking. I saw that and I was like, oh man, that's the Liger Zero right there.
Right, and I like how it's. Hold on, guys. I'm trying to find the issue so I can show you all. I like how that is. It's sort of, how do you put it? Like, it's all-terrain mode, to borrow a phrase from Star Fox over there. Where the hell is Absolute Catwoman #1? I know I have you. There we go. There it is. There she blows. Bum, bum, bum. Scroll, scroll, scroll. Yeah, so it, like, starts out as a regular bike, super speedy, and when she calls her
League
bike
of
Shadows,
the Panther, right?
Yeah. And then when the League of Shadows, like, causes a big wreck, she just rides over.
Transforms into freaking Apex mode is what it's called, and like, that was rad.
But then, like, she jumps over it, it, like, leaps like a cat, and then you see in that bottom panel, like, it comes back together, like, really fast. And that's the kind of slick shit I really, really love. Do you remember, Transformers #1, or at least the Michael Bay movie, there's that scene where, like, Bumblebee has, I think, Sam and Michaela, like Megan Fox and Shia LaBeouf, and he, like, scoops them, like, throws them out of the, like, driver's seat, like, shoots, grabs them, and goes back into the car. And I'm like, that's the tight shit. Like, I don't need them to just, like, stand there every time and transform. This is not the 80s toy commercial that it was, where you had to fill time and not spend any more money. Like, I love this kind of shit. So, like, the very fluid transformation. As soon as I saw that, I was like, all right, we're looking at something really, really, really good here.
Yeah, I was like, this is peak.
The one concern I had from this first issue was, we get deeper into what Selina's, like, bodysuit tech is, her tail, her headdress. From the way she describes it in this first issue, I was leaning like, oh, this is going to be a little, like, magic-y, right? Or not like magic, but, like, suspend your disbelief a little more. Like, it's going to do everything. It's advanced tech. And I was like, I could believe that, but
very Iron
I wouldn't
Man-ish.
want that. Yeah.
And I will say that is one thing that I hope they don't push too much further with it. Because I like the whole, like, she's got Jarvis essentially, right? But it's Jonesy, which I like that bit there. Because Jonesy
Aliens,
was the cat, right? And so I'm like, all right, I like that. That's clever. I see you.
Like, all right, clever.
I respect a good wink and a nod.
Yeah,
right?
not
like
too in your face, right? Like,
yeah,
didn't name it like Captain Marvel or something. I don't fucking know.
Yeah. But the thing is, like, there are moments where it does kind of push the line a little bit, where it's like, okay, so is Jonesy just like the quick answer to everything, to just give you whatever information you possibly need? Like, what was it in issue 2 when she goes to that the auction house, right? And she asked Jonesy to analyze the ice and give her the exact specifications and chemical makeup and everything like that. That way she could utilize, which I don't know where she got it, but that way she could utilize a compound that would destabilize it at just the right time. And it's like, all right, cuz comics, but like,
I didn't put
don't push your luck. Right?
Yeah, the right here, the Jonesy full spectrum analysis on the ice. I want ice depth comical, and it's like, we're running okay. So I was okay with like this. Like, I'm okay with an AI being sort of the super advanced brain. I'm kind of with you that like it was leaning a little hard, especially here. But in that first issue, she really makes it seem like she explains that like the tail is connected to like her thought pattern. Like she can essentially it goes with her brain. It's
prehensile essentially.
It's like Scorpion's tail or Doc Ock's tentacles. Yeah. And I went, that's cool. But then she started kind of explaining how like it can do all of this, and it can. And I was like, I want to see Selena be skilled. I don't want it to just be like, oh, you're really good because you have this super advanced suit.
Right.
Like, that could be cool, but it's also kind of lame.
And
Tony Stark is still a genius and a schemer when he's out of his armor.
And it slightly ungrounds it from like the general tone of the Absolute Universe. I'll say that as well.
Yeah.
Like, if it becomes too magic tech, you know, then it's like, we're kind of trying to be a little more grounded in this universe in a lot of ways.
Like they're not going...
Especially if it's a character that's associated with
Batman.
Like Bruce.
Yeah,
right?
This Batman especially, who's very, like, construction worker-y instead of... it was slightly
jarring, but otherwise, like, aside from those nitpicks, and those are worth criticizing and taking a look at and being weary of, like, all right, like, don't push the line further than.
But I also think that's like for all you and I are saying, we are actually complimenting the book because we're saying you got right up there and you didn't go further. You knew when to peel it back, when to show there's a flaw, when to give it a limitation, right? So we're saying like that's good, but like if you're gonna keep going up against that edge, just be careful.
Auto W against Cassandra Cain, right? Which is good, and I like that she has not been able to beat
Cassandra. Yeah.
That should be important. Like, I don't care what universe we're in. Cassandra Cain's a badass.
Yeah, and so another thing, so like, yes, I love that Cass is still a badass here. I also really like what they did with the cat gang, or what are they called, like the Calicos or
the Calicos. That was really interesting.
This
like
is
their
what
old
I like.
Uniforms looked more like a classic Catwoman.
So I hit that on when you were gone at SpaceCon. I was like, isn't that so sick? I love that reuse. But then I love how they use everybody from like this lore, right? You have Holly, you have Helena Bertinelli, you have Cassandra, you've got the ground level rough and tumble females of Gotham, and you put them on a team where they, like, I don't even know if they hate each other. You know what I mean? Like, by the time we meet Selena, she makes it clear that, like, she hasn't the gang hasn't been a gang in a while. They've been broken up, hasn't seen them, and she's surprised to see them again. But, like, nobody seems particularly, like, angry at anybody. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's kind of interesting.
No one's offering hugs, but at the same time, nobody's trying to slit each other's throats either.
And, like, that to me... Of course, like, they wouldn't let that shit affect the right now because they're professionals, right? Like, they've been doing this all their life. They're not going to let something like this
that panel
throw
where they're trying to escape the auction house, and Selena has her interior caption where she says, "And just something to the effect of, and just like that, we fall right back in," right? Right back into the old habits.
The years, I hate how easily we slip back into formation. The years apart just melt away, picking up the story right where we left off, right? Like, it's good. I like this because, I don't know, I feel like it would have been so cliche and so easy to be like, oh, Helena or Selena, you betrayed us. We all hate you. And it's just like, okay, so this is just Selena. But this Selena is like where our Selena had her downtrodden childhood and she sort of took it and made it like a big wall for herself. And that's if I were to get psychological, that's why she's so who she is, so abrasive and so like, I'm going to dick around with everything and I don't really care because what does she care? Nobody else has ever cared for her. And I get that.
This Selena's about standing on business. We kick off the first issue with her saying, all right, I did all I needed to do. I saved up a nice pretty penny. Yeah. I'm done.
I'm going to go retire to this place.
Retire,
right? Yeah. But also, like, she had a rough childhood, too. She was, with the Gotham kids and everything. But the difference is she didn't, like she's not holding on to that. She went, like, that sucked, and that was my motivation to get better. But I'm not letting that inform everything. Like, she wants to have friends. She wants to live this. She wants to get out of the game. So it's a really interesting dynamic they have going on. I love the tech just like you do. There's also what's her name is a gender swap, or not a gender swap, but it is a gender swap. Is that Vicky Vale? Because no, it's Sage. Yeah, that's
Victoria.
Question. Yeah, that's Question in this universe. Well, kinda, because there's also no, never mind. No, that is. I mixed myself up. Don't listen to me, guys. Rewind. So we got our first like big gender swap, and honestly, it works for the story. I'm okay with it, and at least she looks good. Like I was
gonna say like, Bengal makes her look hot.
He really does.
Proper comic book fans appreciate a hot redhead,
and it's like our kryptonite, right? Like. Guys, let's be clear about that. If you follow this path of me and Andrew into being super comic nerds, you will eventually develop that weakness. Like, it just...
Yes.
You will wake up one day and you'll be like, okay. Maybe Kirsten doesn't look that bad in Spider-Man.
Just because of the red hair.
Just because of the red hair. But yes, from there, guys, we are into a sort of international globe-spanning mystery. There's, I don't know. There's a lot that we don't know yet. There's a lot to see. I'm excited for it. I'm I'm glad. Like I said at the beginning, I'm really stoked that you like this version of Selena because I think
this is a really good
mini? Selena. I have no idea.
Or a 13-issue maxi.
I have genuinely no idea. I don't care about those anymore. You know what I mean? Like, neither do the publishers because, and I say that because, they announced today that Absolute Green Arrow is being extended from like 8 to 12 or something, or like 10 to 13, and I was just like...
So they're probably basing it off of the sales of the first few issues and seeing if like, so it's worth extending at least another arc. So at present, Absolute Catwoman is supposed to be a 6-issue mini.
But here's my problem with that.
I hope if they keep this up and there's room to do more and it makes sense to do more,
make it an ongoing, right? Like, But that's where I get worried because we went through what was the I just had an example from Marvel that we went through where Ultimate Wolverine. Remember? Ultimate Wolverine was supposed to be 8 issues, and then halfway through they said this is selling really well, extend it to 12. Yeah. Normally there's nothing wrong with extending something, but when you have
those extra 4 issues were useless.
They were nothing. And that's because that's what I was getting to is if you have a set story, you're like, okay, I wrote a beginning, a middle, and end. I fit it into these 6 issues. Cool. Mm-hmm. Now you've been told you have to make it last 4 more because. So, I'm not saying it's impossible, but speaking as a writer, the idea of going back and like backfilling gaps and adding things, you're gonna forget so much going forward, right? You'll be like. Oh, I have to add this villain in, right? I have to add Absolute Deathstroke has to fight Green Arrow now. Now you have to throw him into the narrative, and he shows up in issue 5. And now people go, why wasn't he around for the rest of it, and you have to convolute your way, and it's not good. It doesn't.
No, it's not ideal.
I don't like. It's good when a run is extended, when it's like, your favorite author, right? Like, Jonathan Hickman is on 24 issues of Ultimate Spider-Man. We just extended him to 12, which is like, he can do whatever he wants. He's not tied to that story. Those are good announcements. These are worrying. So we'll see how Absolute Green Arrow turns out. I'm very glad. I'm very stoked you like Absolute Catwoman, because even just her design alone, I really like. I've liked her ever since she showed up in Batman, right? Like,
the design's great, and I like twists and riffs and new takes on that archetype. So, I have my own character that I created in Arcstream that's a villain. That's that Catwoman and Black Cat kind of sexy femme fatale cat burglars archetype, right? And that's fun to play with. And the question is always, well, okay, what did you do with it that was new, right? What did you do with it that wasn't just put hot female character in sexy black bodysuit, right?
And sometimes, guys,
we've already done that, right? We've done it, to great effect. I don't like Catwoman, but Catwoman's been around for decades for a reason, right? A lot of other people do like her. And you got Black Cat as well. Well, what do you do with her that differentiates her in the Absolute universe, right? Okay, so her outfit isn't as femme fatale sexy, but it doesn't mean she can't be sexy, because she's still very feminine. She's got a great shape, right? And the outfit is still very form-fitting. And so you don't lose the femininity there, right? You don't lose the sexiness.
No, not at all.
You just add new layers, and it's like, okay, so what can we do here that actually elevates this to being its own thing, instead of just taking Earth Prime Selena and dropping her into the Absolute universe, right? Because that's not what the Absolute universe is.
Couldn't have said it better myself. But yeah, I'm excited for the next one. Hopefully we keep seeing good twists like this out of the Absolute universe. Eventually they're gonna have a miss, guys. Like, Flash was that for a while.
It was that for like 12 issues.
But somehow they're starting to corrupt. So Absolute, like, it's just I always think about this. It's just like, after that last round, like whenever they had their last big shakeup, I forget when that was. I think with the Rebirth stuff, when they like canceled a bunch of books, fired a bunch of people, they made the right move. Like, they cleaned house, and they actually were like, all right, we got to get our shit together. Like, we can't just keep doing this. Unlike,
and then they were beating the crap out of Marvel for months. And they
still are. It's pretty fucking bonkers. But, all right, we'll say goodbye to Selena for now, and I think just while we're on it, let's jump over to Absolute.
We're still in the Absolute universe,
right?
May as well.
We'll just stick here. But let's see. I don't remember the last time we all checked in with you guys, at least, regarding, reading Absolute Flash and all that. Was it when Adult Wally showed up and was like, we got to save the past or whatever, and we were like, we don't even care?
It was that, but I think we also did cover the start to Wally and Linda kind of being a tag team.
We did.
Here, which was like 2 issues ago?
2 issues ago, and we highlighted it specifically because it was starting to do something. Like, the story was starting to do something. They were starting to explore the characters, and they switched up the art, which, like, you and I talked about this. Like, Nick Robles is great. Look at his cover work. Look at his old work.
His covers were great, but for whatever reason, his interiors just left so much to be desired. His paneling was good, but the line work and the colors that were being done on it, they weren't the business.
It wasn't fitting right. And so this isn't a slam on Nick Rowe. He just wasn't a fit for this one. But this new artist they brought in, who is it? Haining? I forget.
Haining, yeah. Haining.
Oh, there we go. It's just Haining. I knew it was just like a one name thing. But Haining, as an artist, I don't know if it's a boy or a girl, but they have a very, like, they have an anime influenced art style different from DCX Sonic, where they kind of understand what they need to do and how far they can play with that in this book. And so there's a fluidity that the book has now under Haining's art that makes it feel a little more exciting, a little more dynamic at the very least. There is, for example, this is what I wanted to show this, or like highlight this to you earlier, but I was like, no, I'll save it for the show. There's this panel right here. maybe I need to do the Zoom page, but like this little sequence where Wally is like, all right, I have to run and I have to go stop Zod or Grodd.
Yeah.
He like blurs out, but then he just appears up there, right? Like there's no line, like there's no speed lines, there's no dust. We see that electric trail and the lines from Robles, but then he's just like
the
up
electrified
there.
Omega beams.
Yeah, and I just think that's so cool. Like we talked about this at the beginning, where instead of sort of like you see him running like we see our Wally Kingdom Come style, he just kind of like blinks over to like different spots, but he leaves like an active trail of where he's going in the Omega beam, in the modified Speed Force Omega beam. So I saw this and I was just like, oh, that's cool. That is exceptionally
That's
cool
paneling.
shot. But
That's really good paneling.
let's see. I guess just an oversight of where we are, guys. As Andrew said, in the last couple of issues, we moved away from what's her name, Victoria, Eleanor Thawne. That's who it is, right? Victoria's over in Kale's over in Absolute Wonder Woman. But we moved away from the Project Olympus stuff. We kind of, the Rogues had said, we're out of here. We're not working for you anymore. The Thawne kidnapped Wally's dad and has taken him somewhere, and Wally is sort of on his own, doesn't know where to go. In this arc, he is getting a lot of, as Andrew said, he's starting to team up with Linda. He's living at the same orphanage, the Ralph Dibny orphanage that Linda is living at. Linda, she's seen him be Flash, so she's doing she's in that character moment where she's like, this is so cool. Like, she doesn't want to be a part of it per se, but she's like excited for him about like, it's just a cool thing. So she's just like, yeah, I want to go. Like, hell yeah, I'll take a ride in your car. Like, fuck yeah, let's do this. So we're starting, like, a lot of this arc has been developing that dynamic. And I know you and I have been a big fan of that because Wally, Linda, and at the very least, like, they feel like kids. Like, it feels hopeful in a, how do I put this? Because obviously, or I gotta form my thoughts, because there's like a thesis here I have that I've been thinking about, which is like, so we know the Absolute universe is the Omega verse, and it's built inherently on like everything will go bad. What book was it? Oh no, damn it. I'll talk. It's Superman Unlimited. You didn't read it. Don't worry about it. Anyway. So yeah, we know that the Omega universe, it all sort of like is built on like dark side. Like it all leans evil. Jack Grimm has said that. Booster Gold has said that. The World Breaker, everybody. And yet, so let's look at like the landscape sort of, right? We have really grim, I don't want to say grim dark, but like darker Green Arrow, a darker aesthetic Superman book, a darker, muddier aesthetic Wonder Woman book, right? Like all these books feel a little desolate. But then you jump over here, and even when Robles was on art, it's been bright. There's been color. And now we get this glimpse of like what is Wally like as himself for like a moment when he can breathe. Yeah. And he's being, through Wally, we're seeing a way more typical like superhero origin story, right? Like, I get powers, I don't know what to do, my family gets blown apart, I have to find my dad, right? Like, Disney Channel original movie almost like to a T. And so I kind of feel, and I'm hoping they do something with this, that like Wally is going to end up being because he is connected to the Speed Force, and thus somehow like I know DC's ignoring it for now because the Absolute Speed Force is all wonky, but we all know there's one Speed Force. Everything will
there's one Speed Force that connects everything.
And one Speed Force to bind them, if you will. Right. But I'm thinking that our Wally, or at least the Prime universe, is going to like leak through that Speed Force, or it already has, and like this Wally is going to be the hope point. Like this is the Absolute universe's God, I can't believe I'm making this comparison, but like oh God, what do they call him in Marvel? Anchor person. Right? Like that's their anchor being, like their Spider-Man, like, and I think that could be fun, and I think that could give Wally some due, both to the character overall, and also to like, what's he gonna do in the Absolute Universe? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
if I'm imagining, where did we see it? We saw that one like chessboard that had all the heroes on it. Remember? Like I don't remember where that issue was, but
that was in the
was it KO?
That was the final issue of KO, I think.
I think
or like
it
in
might
the
have been.
epilogue.
It's somewhere right there, because I know you're right that it does.
It was either the
fall
final
right
or
out of
second
that.
to last one of the two.
Yeah, and so sorry. What were we saying?
That
I totally-
Wally's going to
my-
be kind of the point.
Yeah, just the. Yeah, I don't know. The train of thought completely like jumped right there, but that's what I'm kind of hoping for, is that Wally will be our boy, like our hope, our hero. Oh, that's what I was saying. We know a crossover is coming, but like, I don't see how Wally fits with everybody else, right? Like,
Yeah.
everybody's a little more gritty, a little more dark. He's, for the most part, almost the same. Like, there really isn't.
He's
Yeah.
not too dissimilar to like a Kid Flash Wally.
I just realized something. Holy shit. Okay, bear with me. There's gonna be there's a road. Follow me here, right?
All right.
All right. So, as we just were talking about, Absolute Universe, darker version of all the characters we know and love. There was an interview with Jeff Lemire where he said he originally wanted to do, like, the original story had Barry actively like grooming Wally into helping him with his experiment, right? Not sexually, not a sexual thing, but like here's a boy who doesn't have like a father figure, who's alone, like, I need a guinea pig. Hey, buddy, like that kind of grooming.
Yeah.
Obviously they didn't do that. The Barry we got turns out to be like his legitimate friend, wants to help him. I was about to say right now, like, that's kind of the bummer, is that they eared away from that, right? Like, it's a dark take on Barry, but I think that's kind of what we were supposed to be doing here. And then I just remembered that over in The Fury of Firestorm, which is also written by Jeff Lemire, the entire crux of that story is that Martin Stein reveals he actively groomed Ronnie Raymond into being like the other half of the Firestorm Matrix. So I'm just like, I see you, Lemire. Like, you said this. I'm going to use this plot point. I'm going to do it whether you guys want it or not. So I don't know. That was just a realization I had. Not really related to Absolute Flash per se, but interesting way the comic book world works. But yeah, so back to Absolute Flash. Wally and Linda, they're running around literally looking for hints to where Wally's dad could be. Last issue, they came across Grodd, little baby Grodd. He had escaped, with Wally. Now he had found his dad, and they had escaped on their own. Unfortunately, his dad, being an adult, he also got abused and tested on and all that. He's taking it out on, humans, all men. Yeah. This is the Grodd we know, right? Like, Grodd Senior, all men bad, kill all men, apes together strong, if you will. And so what we get in this issue is, Jesse, or Trickster, as we saw at the end of last issue, she managed to get ahead of Flash and Linda, took Grodd by the throat and said, we're going to have to kill him. Wally and Linda end up convincing, Jesse, let him go. You don't have to do this. And they sort of become not allies per se, but Jesse, it's one of those like strange bedfellows types of things. Yeah. They know the gorilla's taking over, so we don't have to fight right now, but maybe we'll fight when it's all said and done. So eventually first, before, this isn't even really story related, Grodd takes over everybody in the vicinity. That includes the rogues. We get this awesome shot of Golden Glider just doing her thing.
That is a pretty great spread.
But then it's immediately followed up by this. This is just beautiful. It's not particularly dynamic, right? But the coloring, the placement, this is the shit we should have been seeing from Wally all along. Like, these
this is a
kind of
beautiful
pages.
page. My only issue with this is narratively, these two pages, so this one and the one that follows it, is because Wally's like looking at his fist, he's charging it up, and he's like, the way that it reads is I'm about to do this, right? Like, he
Like,
knows
I know
he's
what
about
I'm
to
doing.
do, and
Yes,
then-
this is the
and
same
then
complaint I had. Yeah.
And he does the, we'll call it Thunder Slam or something like that, right? He does that, and then the very next page, he's like, "Oh, I can do that," right?
Like,
and I'm like,
Huh, cool.
like narratively, that's not cohesive.
And that's
it still
it's
looked
that
badass.
panel, that inset panel is the reason. There,
Yeah.
that right there makes it look like he's not even like looking at his fist. There's no like worry. He's just like, I've got this, and then
It's
he
just straight
immediately shoots it down. Right?
Yeah.
Like, even when Miles Morales found that he had the Venom Blast, it was because he was scared and running away from an enemy. He didn't just go, I got this. He
Yeah.
was forced into a corner. And I had the exact same complaint, Andrew. I was like, that, I don't know why. Like why did you guys need to do that? That seems so simple. I don't think it's like inherently representative of anything larger, but that kind of makes it stand out more to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's so bad, and it's so bizarrely bad that I just, from you guys, I don't know. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Weird.
because narratively, that like within 2 pages, that's inconsistent.
Very
It
inconsistent.
doesn't make sense. But the art is beautiful for it.
The art just keeps getting better and better. But yes, eventually the issue comes to a close as Grodd and Flash and Wally and Trickster find Grodd Senior. Grodd Junior tries to do the whole not everyone bad, my friend, like man friend, and then fucking Trickster just blows his brains out.
Yeah.
This is that Scott Snyder school of turning the page, right?
Yeah.
Like, Papa and Grodd, and you're like, oh, we fucking did it. Like, they didn't have to kill.
We calm down the monkey, or ape, technically.
Ape,
Nerd.
as Linda and Wally love to remind Trickster. But then, Trickster just puts down Grodd Senior, and it's shocking. But as Trickster explains, like, our job was to put down Grodd. That Grodd was threatening all these people. I did what I had to do. It's like that. I don't know. I wouldn't have done it, but it's hard to argue against what she had to do. It's just one of those nobody wins sort of situations. You know what I mean?
It is a lose-lose situation. I'll say this: I'm worried that this is the moment. This is the catalyst that's going to turn little Grodd evil
into our Grodd. See, I
don't want that. Because I think one of the things that really sets this book apart is, like, you're building this little mini team around Wally,
right?
Between having Linda and then having Grodd, and if you lean into that, now you have something unique. Now you don't just have Kid Flash in the Absolute Universe, right? You're doing something different with it, and that's what I want. I don't want just Kid Flash in the Absolute Universe.
No, you want a new story. You want a new take to go like, oh, that's so that when they show up in a crossover, right? You're like, oh, that's that one. Instead of just like, oh, it's that one. Like, oh, I remember that one. That one was the same, except, Peter Parker had blonde hair, or Wally West had blonde hair. Something like that's lame. So, hear me out on this one, because I think what you're feeling is an intentional misdirection, right? Because I think, that makes complete sense. Grodd saw his dad get his brains blown out right in front of him. Even though he was trying, humanity sucks. We all get it. It's there. We could maybe not condone, but we would sort of understand narratively if he broke bad. Now, I think they're going to use this as an opportunity to, what's the right word? Like, contrast it. Contrast Grodd and Wally with Wally and his dad, because right now you have a young superpowered being who just lost a parent, just like Wally lost his mom, who for all intents and purposes, everything around him is telling him this place fucking sucks, right? Like, it's all bad. You should lose it, and you should act out and all of this stuff.
Yeah, he could turn into that thing that was the potential future for him that we've not seen hide nor hear of since.
Don't even remind me. I'm so mad. But
from issue whatever 2 or 3,
it's so cool, and apparently it is different than the weird slug poop monster that is Reverse Flash. So I don't know what they're gonna do with it. But essentially you have Wally. So the compare and contrast is like, what's Wally's dad's name?
Randy?
Whatever.
Rudolph.
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 Rudy. Yeah.
Rudy
I think he, he was absent from Wally's life, and that's kind of what pushed him here, and it caused all of this pain. That I think that's been the big emphasis in this series, for better or probably for worse, but I understand what they're going for. We've gotten a lot of art and like shots and scenes of Wally like despondent and crying and like, alone in the cave after he got his suit and stuff. And he didn't have anybody there for him. But now Grodd does. Like Grodd's going to have Wally to guide him, and that's going to, show Rudy that he's an idiot. It's going to show Wally that he doesn't have to be his dad. He doesn't have to repeat those mistakes. I'm hoping that's what we're going to see, because that would be the clever thing. With this book, it's a complete toss-up.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah. Zero says, oh, well, Andrew didn't want to talk about it, but yeah, Zero asks, I need to ask, what the fuck is this suit? It's the absolute Wally suit. We've talked about it a lot and before. We're not fans of it. It's not particularly great. I didn't even know. I didn't even notice in this shot, dude. Oh my god. Oh, I gotta like zoom and like scroll it over. His jacket is like flapping in the wind back there. Damn it! I have it like too. Oh well, I can't fit it right, guys. But I think you can get the gist of it. Like, you can see the back part of his jacket is flapping, which means like this isn't even keeping it. It's not like closed. I don't. That it feels even stupider. We've always said it's like it's future Trunks but stupid.
Yeah, like if you're gonna put a jacket on a character that's supposed to be a speedster, and look, if we're being literal, a jacket's gonna add drag, right?
Right.
But it's gonna look badass. But at least like acknowledge, yes, this would add drag unless I'm introducing some sort of BS like frictionless materials or Speed Force bullshit, right? And that, okay, fine. But you're just doing half measures here. And so it's like, okay, that type of a jacket style would specifically, in my mind, like if I'm working with a concept artist and I'm saying, I want to make sure that this jacket closes completely in the front so that it keeps it more tight, so that it keeps it closer to the body. That way there's less flapping around and whatnot, right? This completely defeats that purpose.
Yes. And again, like the thing that keeps radiating in my mind, it's so dumb, but even more so, like this was supposed to be like a science suit. This was Barry's like, I'm going into that still place exploration thing. Why do you have a half jacket? Why did you put all these extraneous design lines on it? Why is your head exposed? This isn't even back to like mine and Andrew's eternal like hair open mask debate. This is just, if you're going into like something dangerous and you know nothing about it, you cover the hell up. Even the Fantastic Four movie, the bad one, knew that. Mm-hmm. Like that was the catalyst for the entire plot. So it bugs me. And then this guy's also, I just like saw on this page, this is an example of why I hate extraneous like bullshit that looks good on a figure maybe, or like in a still. Mm-hmm. They clearly put that like divot right there, that white divot on the skin suit to like accentuate the jacket, right? Mm-hmm. But now that he's like slightly turned to the left, it's not aligned and it doesn't make any sense. Yeah. And it's just like, what are we doing here?
It looks super off, yeah.
Yeah, it's not a great suit, Zero. There is I don't remember what issue it is offhand, and I don't particularly feel like reviewing Absolute Flash.
Are you going to talk about like issues? When we see his
future
adult version show up in like the more
it's
body armor version? It's
slightly better because they turn the jacket into body armor, but it's still half.
It's drawn like, poorly because it makes it look like he has boobs.
Yes, it does. And they ripped off Andrew. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I kind of have to... I'm being genuine here because everybody wanted to get on fucking Arcstream or Blue Shift or whatever Arc Shift we want to call them these days about like, oh, you're a Flash ripoff or whatever. And then what do? They go, oh, we have a new Wally design. Fucking speed energy nodes all over that bitch. And I'm like, I see you. I fucking see you. All right? Chicken and the egg situation. I see you assholes. Hey, Zayd Comics, how's it going? But that is
What's going on, Sid?
That is Absolute Flash for this week. As we said, it's getting better. I wouldn't necessarily say good book yet, but
it's nowhere near as good as the
curving
Absolute
up.
Trinity, but it is absolutely getting better.
Also, before we move on, there's a lot in this with the team up, enemy of my enemy is my friend team up between Trickster and Team Flash, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
I still think that this is, you started to see like a little connection develop between like Linda and Wally and Jesse. I'm telling you, that's absolute Jesse Quick. I'm
You
telling
think it's Jesse Quick still,
I'm
yeah.
still,
Okay.
Even more so after this issue. So we'll see. But, all right. We're about at the hour mark, Andrew, hour 10. Where do you want to go from here? Do you want to quick hit anything? Do you want to just talk about the news? Do you want to talk? I do kind of want to hit Avengers Armageddon just to run it by you and ask you about it.
Let's quick hit that, and then we can
Okay.
get into news.
Perfect. Because this is really going to be a quick hit, guys. We're not going to break it down or anything. So, Avengers Armageddon, the current big Marvel event that's been going on. They've been advertising it for a few months now. With it's linking the origin boxes and the current Wolverine and Cap. It's just all the stuff, the Doom stuff. It's all culminating in this series, which is, as they always say, once it ends, it'll change the future of the Marvel universe. Blah 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 blah. Whatever. That's kind of, so that's what it is on paper. In interviews, so this is being written by Chip Zdarsky, and Chip Zdarsky has straight up said, like, my goal with this book is to get us back to the Bendis editorial direction, which was back when Bendis was around. He kind of he was the captain of the ship, if you will. He said, we're going to Civil War, or not even Civil War. He said, we're doing, New Avengers, we're doing we're doing all this stuff. And everybody kind of went, okay, we're going to go with you. And all of our characters are going to go on this one collective sort of path together. Ever since Bendis left, when we went into the Marvel Now stuff, we kind of just exploded into the Marvel we have now, which is throw things at the wall, short-term returns over everything, which is why they keep, ending things like your Scarlet Witch series. They ended at like issue 6 and then give it another number 1 because that'll sell it. People buy up
Diminishing
that
returns.
Right, exactly. But because even, especially with that, people are like, oh, I love this series. Oh, it's over? That sucks. Scarlet Witch and Vision, I don't really care about that. I don't want to start something new. I was really invested in that. Because if they'd have like cracked open the first page, it'd say like previously on Scarlet Witch with that whole text font title and everything. So Marvel hasn't been in a great place for a while now. We know this not only from their output, but recently, at least with the, starting at the end of last year, all of the sales charts are showing DC just absolutely eating their fucking lunches between DC Compact, between the Absolute Universe, between Batman relaunches and the Superman relaunches. Like, people are reading that stuff. Nobody's really buying Marvel. The things that are selling at Marvel are Amazing Spider-Man, which always sells.
That always sells.
It always sells because it's Spider-Man, and they put 4 billion variant covers on it.
Yeah,
you know
4 billion
I mean?
variants, and you do still have people like that they've been collecting that book for so long, and so they're just like, why would I drop it at this point? I've got them all. I may as well just keep going, right?
We're on the road to 1,000, right? So it's like, maybe that could be a good jump off. Like, if I had everything, and I was like, I want off this ride, 1,000 is probably where I would feel like, good, it's rounded, we're out of here. But that all aside, so that is what Chip Zdarsky is trying to do with this series. Now, as far as the plot of the series, it involves, so after, One World Under Doom and everything, Red Hulk he basically just goes like, oh, this is fucking dumb. Like, why does America wait for like people to ask for our help? We should just spread democracy like we should. So he takes over Latveria, renames it New America, and he's sort of establishing a new imperial era for the United States. Of course, everybody says abso-fucking-lutely not. So thus our conflict, right? Ross and his gang of sort of not full Hulks, like they have the serum, but they're not healing. It's not perfected. And they're just wrecking havoc, and they're just lashing out pretty much, right? Trying to spread democracy. In this issue, we get all the Avengers, or active Marvel heroes, I should say, rather. You know, they arrive at the scene. They say, "We're going to stop you, Ross." Big old fight happens, and then we get a showdown between the new Captain America, the 9/11 Captain America, who currently has the Sentry's powers from one of the origin boxes from the Ultimate Universe. Bad comics, right? Like, that's comic books. That's bad comic books. That was really convoluted to just even explain right here.
That's
right.
Yeah, I feel like that one's a miss, Marvel.
If I wanted, for example, if I wanted to recap you, Andrew, on everything, on just like who Colton is, I need to go to like 7 different series and different points in the series. Like, it's been a rough ride for him. Let's just put it that way.
That's painful, man.
But essentially, you know, Red Hulk shows down with the new Captain America at the very last second. You know, he's got him dead to rights. Tony shows up and says, "No, we're heroes. We don't kill. Like, that's not your judgment to make." And and Colton, not Captain America, basically goes, "You, like, I hate you people. Like, you're not heroes. Like fuck off. Like, you're gonna let him live to go kill more people instead of you're saving people? I'm out. Like, screw you guys. Like, this is not what I signed up for, right?" And so he pieces out, and we end the issue with a Tony returns to like the what do you call it? Like the forward operating base over near New America. And as he lands, one of the like US Army guys who's guarding the tent basically says like we were winning against the Hulks. Like, we had that fight in our hands, and then you superpowered jerks flew in and you blew it all to hell, right? Like, because when they're fighting, Ross goes, "Okay, we're fighting in an open field. We got to show the world like where superheroes, like what their big weakness is." And he jumps into like the nearest occupied city, and that's where him and Captain America fight. So
right,
yeah. So Tony lands, and the guy goes, "We had them until you jerks showed up. Did you even stay around to help? Like, you've never even served a day in your life. Like, how dare you?" And Tony goes, "You know, whatever you're feeling, we're all feeling like 10 times more." And then he goes into this tent. He accesses some weird Doom time machine that Red Hulk has been using, and he sees a prediction of the future, like a nuke going off, right? So, overall, like, it's not necessarily bad. Like, as I'm reading this issue, it was I genuinely felt like I was back in that Bendis era, right? Like, it feels alive. Here are all these different characters who were doing things and are at different points in their careers right now, right? Like, they're all teaming up from their respective adventures for this one thing. And even Tony talks about how, like, or Tony and Tony, Black Panther, Namor, they all talk about how like the UN will react to this, and like, it feels very alive. It also so like that's a positive to me, right? Like, that's positive. Good job. You did the Bendis, Zdarsky. But you did the Bendis. Like, that on the other side of the coin, this just feels so damn generic. Like, we have been here. This feels like
we've been here
Civil War. Times. This feels like Civil War 2. This feels like World War Hulk. It's just like,
yeah.
It's frustrating because it's like, yes, Zdarsky, you did that one thing, but we have fucking been here, and that's one of the things.
It's the house of status quo.
Exactly
or the
what I was
house
about
of
to
no
say.
ideas,
Yes.
right? We're just going back to the well for the same stuff over and over.
And that's where I'm like, I really hope you can put an interesting spin on this chip. Like you've been capable
really
of it before. I really like the art. That page right here of Bucky and Colton like staring each other down and having that like soldiers exchange. Like, I won't stop you. Like, I love this. This is a really, really good page. I wonder, is that by? It's not. I'm surprised. I genuinely thought that page was by Copio. That's by whatever. I skipped over his name. Or name. Yes, I should give name. It is Delio Diaz and Frank Alpizar. So I don't know how they divided it up, but kudos to them. The art is very, very good in this book. But yeah, it feels so generic. It feels like we've been here. House of Status Quo. So it's like, oh, cool. Or it's sort of like, okay, great. You got that band you really liked in high school. They got back together. Great. Are they going to make anything new? Oh, they
No,
did.
they're
Oh,
just going back on
right,
tour
exactly.
and playing
No,
all the
they're-
greatest
they're-
hits.
Oh, cool. And now they're gonna make a new album. Oh, it's just a greatest hits album.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's like I was excited for a second, but then I know that I don't have any more expectations.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to I wanted to tell you about it because like I just wanted confirmation that like as well as I do that like this isn't new. Like this is basically the Marvel story, which is all superheroes get together, cause big international incident, international powers say we gotta
never
do something
happened
about
before.
this. Like it's the basis for the MCU, it's the basis for all the comics. I don't know. I don't know if that's what you want to say. Like that's the play you want to run as your Hail Mary, right? So
Yeah. Well, because you're not doing anything new. Your Hail Mary is just like more or less cut and paste what you've done a dozen times before.
right? It's just with. It's not even like. All I was gonna say is like, oh, but it's just with different costumes. But that's even what happens in those events, right? Like Civil War 2 or 1, people show up with different costumes. You might not. That's one of my favorite little quirks of comic books, right, Andrew? Is when they have like a big company-wide thing, and it's like Batman's been rocking the orange suit lately because he's having a mental break as Orange Man, and it's like, he has to be in the orange suit to fight the Anti-Monitor, haha.
Yeah.
and then I love reading it now because I always know when I'm like, that's going to be something people ask about, like, who the hell is that, right? Like, what's going on here? Like in Dark Knight's Metal, they recommend like it's about to get a compact, but I know that like everybody is messed up and weird before they go into metal, so the people are going to be like, what are we even looking at here? I have genuinely no idea. But yeah, so Marvel is, well, first of all, Dyke Ruin, man, just incredible cover as always. Unfortunately, on another bad book, as he tends to do,
And probably not foil. Right?
Absolutely not foil. Why would they ever foil anything these days from Dyke Ruin?
Like,
he's not just...
That cover is literally just begging to be spot foiled.
I was playing with this image and like moving things around and stuff for one of our... Oh yeah, you saw for one of our thumbnails.
Yeah.
That star, like that Colton with like the starburst, it looks so good. It looks so strong and intimidating, and like a renewal is coming, and that's why I was like, that's what we should try and use. And then, yeah, no foil, never a foil. We're never gonna get that. But
what do you have against Dyke Ruin, people? Whether it's Marvel or DC.
I
or
know.
Does Dyke just like actually request to not have foil covers? Is that like part of his contract?
It can't be like that. Would be
Because
that-
that's both
that would be-
DC and Marvel.
that would be like MJ or LeBron retiring after like their rookie seasons where they were great but they didn't win. And then it's like, why are you doing, like, you're not using your talents to the best. Like, why are you doing this? You can, what are we doing here? You can be a superstar. I don't know. It's very aggravating. Hopefully someday somebody will take care of that for us. But, all right. With that said, while this is not turning out to be the renewal, brand new day that Marvel needs, it might be coming, guys, like legitimately, because we got this massive, massive piece of news today, which was Marvel Comics is having an EIC shakeup, where today they announced that C.B. Cebulski, who has been our editor-in-chief, God, for as long as I can remember, like the mid-2000s, like he started with, ever since Joey Q, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, since
basically since Caseta was gone.
Which is the One More Day. Yeah, so that's so interesting because, yeah, we'll get to it. But C.B. Cebulski, who has been our longtime Marvel editor, he is officially out. He is being moved to work with Marvel Japan on things like licensing out anime, the mangas, so things like Spider-Girl.
Because he's Japanese, right?
Yeah, of course. You guys all remember Akira Yoshida, which is like, for those who don't know this joke that Andrew and I keep referencing, for those who don't know this, when Cebulski was getting his start at Marvel, he didn't use his name. He had a pen name, and it was Akira Yoshida. Now, there's nothing wrong with using a pen name, even if your pen name is a foreign name. It's weird, but, you know, as long as it's just a pen name, people go, whatever. CB was, like Akira Yoshida was presenting himself as like, I am a Japanese artist, I am a Japanese writer. And then when it came out that, oh no, it is the whitest white guy, and also like that name, everyone, Akira Yoshida, that's like naming somebody like David John, right? Like it the most generic names possible, and they don't fit together.
You picked incredibly generic names.
And
you may as well have just called yourself John Smith.
You might as well have just called yourself like Emperor Hirohito at that point. Like, same equivalence. But so when that came to light, eventually, Cebulski got promoted. And I'm not even joking about that. It was literally like 1 month.
Well, you did a great job of convincing everybody that you were actually Japanese man. So we're gonna make you EIC.
Hey, let's roll with it. And
what?
Like what? Like really? And this, like, to me, guys, this isn't even like part of that like woke culture war stuff. Like, this is just basic, decent. Like, you pretended to be another race guy. Like, I don't know, man. Like, I can't hire you. Like, I'm sorry, it's weird. But nonetheless, Cebulski has been around ever since then. He is finally out, returning home to his homeland of the rising sun. Country. And in his place, Stephen Wacker will now be the editor-in-chief of Marvel Comics. And guys, I'm fucking excited. I don't know like how else to like really approach this. This like Stephen Wacker is so genuinely good. Like, his history is so established and so good that we genuinely might be looking at a new era for Marvel Comics. Just for an example, I just threw together some of his more well-known things. Oh, I guess I had it on the one page. But this guy, so Wacker got his start over at DC. While at DC, some of his notable works were the JLA Avengers crossover, the Justice Society of America series from 2007, Volume 3, the Jeff Johns one, which spun out of Infinite Crisis. Honestly, I would say is responsible for the reason anybody even cares about the JSA anymore.
I was going to say, that's the only reason anybody cares.
Like,
in terms of comic fans, like,
right.
In terms of like your mainstream normies, they learned a snippet about the JSA probably when they watched Smallville.
Black Adam.
Or that, yeah.
That was technically them, yeah.
But for the 52 people that watched that movie.
But I feel like I've always felt that if this series failed, that was kind of it for the JSA. They would have gone Legion style. You know what I mean? Like, they're there, but nobody cares anymore. They're just gonna float away. But Johns brought them back, and it was incredible. And then not only that, guys, but Wacker helped oversee 52,
which is one of your all-time.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if you know me, if you have watched this show for any more than one episode, you'll know that 52 is like might be my favorite comic book run of all time, because 52 weekly issues, all covering the year gap between Infinite Crisis and the Return of All the Heroes in 1 year later. Superstar, what is it? Mark Waid, Jeff Johns, Grant Morrison. Yes, we got Miss Marvel down there in the corner. So after 52, around like right when 52 is coming to an end, Marvel is running Brand New Day. Joey Q is having Spidey sell his marriage to the devil.
Yeah.
For those who might not remember, because it's been nearly 20 years. It's 18 years now since all of that went down, right? I know, it's crazy. But Spider-Man used to be published once a month, like every other comic. Amazing Spider-Man. Yes, in the 90s we had, Peter Parker Spider-Man. There could be 900 million other Spider-Man titles, but Amazing itself was only once a month, like everything else. With Brand New Day, one of the big things they were doing with that was they started publishing it, or Amazing Spider-Man started getting published 3 times a month. No, that was three at the beginning. So
that's right, which is insanity.
Which is crazy insane. Now we only have 2 a month, which is still kind of nuts. But when you're not really working on a really cohesive story that really matters, maybe you have more leeway. You know what I mean? But so Brand New Day is going into publication overdrive. 3 issues a month for Spider-Man. Marvel goes, we need editorial help with this. They tap Stephen Wacker specifically to help them with Brand New Day. So Wacker comes over from DC right off the heels of 52. We get his first stuff begins with that era. At the same time, as you guys can see, as Andrew just highlighted, he also, with issue 18, started editing the Brian Reed Miss Marvel Carol Danvers run, which is a phenomenal run through and through.
It's the best run of the character, period.
You'll understand. You can read her classic stuff to see like why she became a mainstay and powerful. Read that series to understand why people like her.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's a really, really good series. But he comes over here for Miss Marvel. He goes into Brand New Day, and he sticks around for a while. As you guys can see here, he oversaw such runs as the Agent Venom debut over in Venom Volume 2. He oversaw the return.
Fantastic book.
It's a great book. He oversaw the Kane Scarlet Spider or not even miniseries, like series.
It was an ongoing for a while.
It was an ongoing for a long time, and it's good. Like I talk about it a lot more than Andrew does because I like my Spider clones, but it's a genuinely good book. I would highly recommend anybody who likes Spider-Man read that one, right? Like, phenomenal. Like, you can tell he's really good at taking characters that might be dusty or not really have any like big flash behind them at the moment, right? And he goes, what if we did this? Kane, nobody really cares about Kane. What if we made Kane Spider-Man? Like, actual Spider, and we didn't put him in New York. Like, get him the hell out of there. Venom, okay, Venom's Venom. What if we gave it to Flash and made him like a military guy? You can see there he also oversaw Fraction and David Aja's Hawkeye run, which was the run that, for better or worse, I would say worse, gave us the Hawkeye we have now. The sort of more like slackery, but still super skilled and cares about everybody Hawkeye, right? Like, before that miniseries, guys, Hawkeye was he was Ronin. That's what Hawkeye was doing before this. He was so just a non-character to Marvel at that point that they killed him off and put him in a new identity that they eventually gave to Echo. So he was just kind of around. He also oversaw, and this is kind of a controversial one, but it's going to lead into a point I have to make here, the Spider-Man Family Business graphic novel, which it probably doesn't ring any immediate bells, but it will as soon as I tell you guys that is where we got the introduction of Teresa Parker, Peter's sister. Now, that...
Wait, you mean there's been a long-lost sibling or relative before?
No fucking way. And she actually can do things, and she's interesting? No, let's go get Aunt May's kid, or... I don't even care about that. I'm not talking... Just kind of like you in the suit. I don't want to talk about it until we have to talk about it. You know what I mean? Like, get that out of my face. But the reason I highlighted Family Business here... And of course, Wacker has done so much more stuff. He also did a bunch of work for the Marvel like animated stuff, which none of us probably really watched or cared that much about. He did like the Ultimate Spider-Man, the
what
Kid
about
Squad
the
stuff.
Avengers: Earth, the Mightiest Heroes?
Before him, that was Jeff Loeb. That was when Jeff Loeb was still in charge of Marvel TV. Yeah. Remember, he went crazy. They put him in Marvel TV. He was working out really, really well. And then they said, no, we're going to get rid of you because Disney bought us. And now we have to do Hush 2 again.
Oh, God.
Like, he has to pay those bills somehow. But the reason I highlight Family Business is, yes, the reveal of Teresa at the time was very much, you know, I know you and I, we weren't friends yet, but the reactions we both probably had were the same of like, this is just like soap opera bullshit. Like, you're just throwing things. Who cares? Right? Like, why? However, I think we could both agree, I kind of hinted at it a second ago, that like cards where they're dealt, what they've done with Teresa has at least made her interesting as a character. Like, she's a SHIELD agent. She's in and out of Peter's life. Like, there's a lot of stuff there. And they use her really... She only shows up like once every 4 years. And I think that's perfect.
And they use her sparingly, which is good. Because, like, when she shows up, you should be reminded, oh, yeah, she's a thing. Then let her do something cool, be impactful for whatever that story is. And then she F's off back to doing secret agent crap.
And I think that...
we don't see her again for another handful of years.
I even think that helps...
It overcomplicates Peter's mythos if you have her be a constant presence.
Not only does it, undercut his mythos, but for herself, if you want to ingratiate this character to people and tell everyone that, like, she's this badass SHIELD spy, nobody's going to really buy it if you just throw a bunch of issues right off the bat at us of Shield Agent beats Nick Fury, beats Carnage, beats Spider-Man. We're going to go, the fuck? Like, no. Nick Fury couldn't even do that, right? Like, what are we doing
try
here?
again.
But if you have her show up every so often to the point where it's a genuine surprise, and we go, oh, that's right, you're a fucking international spy. Like, it helps reinforce that. Like, she is gone, and that's because she's doing important things, Peter.
I like
she's
those
not
types
wallowing.
of characters, and I have plans for one in my Rippaverse works, but that's going to be for a little ways down the line. But I like the type of character that pops up only every so often, but when they do, you have that, oh, shoot, because you know that character can go, right? They're going to have an impact, and you're not necessarily anticipating them showing up, but when they show up, it's a big deal, but you don't need them there all the time. It's just really cool when it happens. And it's like, oh man, that was awesome. Then you move on with your life. And then however many issues or whatever down the line, they pop up again. And you're like, oh, that was awesome.
I'm just saying, I thought Barry was cooler when he was only coming back 3 more times to Wally's life. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just saying.
I'll show up 3 most important days of your life, right?
Right. And so that's kind of what I wanted to highlight, is that the man is not only good at like he's really, really good at taking crap or not even crap, because Venom's not necessarily crap at the time he was, but he can take something maybe dull, maybe stale, if you will, and genuinely breathe new life into it in a very, very creative way. I saw, so earlier today, I posted a tweet retweeting the news that Wacker was replacing Cebulski, and I was freaking out because it's 52, guys. Like, anytime I get to talk about 52, I'm going to talk about 52. But I had somebody, because I retweeted discussing film, so obviously a big account. People are looking at the quote tweets. Yeah. I got one reply from somebody that just said, it's why are you excited? It's just more, brand new day era stuff. And Subhuman himself, earlier in the show, this is the one I was setting aside, he said, Spider-Man fans don't want a One More Day sequel. They want a retcon. I think you and I have talked a lot about, the difference between when to use a retcon, when to play the cards dealt. I think we all...
Retcon's not happening. And it's not at this point what I want. What I want to do is just resolve it. Resolve it, move past it, be done with it.
And that's the thing, guys, is like... Because how do I put this?
And then never discuss it again.
Right. Like... How do I put... So, we all know, brand new day, one more day, terrible. Never going to, argue against it. Obviously, as Andrew put, get it gone, just resolve it, push past it, be done with it. We don't need to continue harping on it. Yeah. Oh, shit, what was I going to say about that? Damn it. I got my train of thought went off the tracks. I thought of that one exchange between Doctor Strange and Mephisto, where he's like, why do you keep torturing Peter Parker? Like, why? And he's like, because I had a vision that the only person who could take me down is Mayday Parker, Spider-Girl. And that was in Spencer's run, and that's when Marvel went, oh, no, absolutely not. You are not going to be allowed to do any of this, right?
Yeah. And that was actually an interesting premise.
Yeah.
Because, me... hi, I'm Andrew. I historically and infamously hate the spider folk that aren't Peter Parker, with the sole exceptions being Mayday Parker from the Spider-Girl book and Annie Mae Parker from Renew Your Vows.
Renew Your Vows.
Only exceptions.
It's true.
And so that was a moment where I was like, oh. Huh. Okay.
And that was a moment I felt where I went, you took bullshit and with the magic of script writing and comics and you went, here's how this could actually be cool, right? Because when I saw that, I went, the idea that he did this to Peter to stop Mayday, holy, that's actual 9D chess, that's crazy. That's the kind of planning I want.
That's some Terminator John Connor shit as well.
Right, exactly. And not only is it Terminator John Connor shit, but it's putting respect to Peter's name. Which he, at that point, as he still doesn't, it like he hasn't had it for a long time. So I was like, that's right. The one thing that can beat like the literal devil is the Parker bloodline. Of course, that's what's going to happen. Like that's badass. But so I get the initial reactions, guys, to hearing, Stephen Wacker worked, he joined with Brand New Day. He worked on that One More Day era. I can get that initial reaction because yes, that event is awful. But and I especially want like to pose this to you, Andrew, because I think more than probably a lot of our viewers, you'll be able to like actively recall. Think back to that actual One More Day era. And honestly, I would say for all its faults, we were finally getting interesting Spider-Man stories again. Yes, we had to reset a lot, but we also were introducing a lot of new stuff. We had the, I think I know I tell you about it a lot, but the American Sun plot with Harry was phenomenal. We had Kraven's first hunt with his daughters and stuff. We had Ends of the Earth, which again, these things they were kind of ridiculous and a little out there, but they were still fun. And they were
we weren't just getting rehashes.
And that's they were doing something. Slott was doing something with all of this under the guidance of Wacker. So like, that's kind of what I want to like really emphasize is that yes, guys, he was on the Brand New Day, One More Day team, but he's probably the one who was responsible for any of it that was good. Like genuinely, he's the one that we kind of talk about all the time that Sophie Campbell should be as an editor, where they're going, okay, no, you can't do that. Like that isn't the character. And here's, Web of Spider-Man number 17, newsstand edition, to tell you why it's different, right? Because there's a misprint, and we're going off of that one, right? So, overall, I'm stoked. Andrew, I know I've just been bleeding on and on. How do you feel, as my other fellow Spider fan, knowing that Wacker is taking over at EIC? Hopeful, optimistic? Do you think he can save it? Is there anything left to save?
So this is like the can Star Wars be saved Kathleen Kennedy argument. Like what happens when one big person that's a part of the problem, keyword a part of the problem, is out, right? I think this is a big step in the right direction, as long as, because we don't know what Wacker's like vision for the comic book universe is.
We literally just know that he's got the job. That's all we know.
Yeah, we just learned that he got the job today. What I would like is for him to do some sort of an exclusive interview with, I don't care who it's with, but do an interview that gives fans reason to be reinvigorated. You don't have to give away the plot to anything. Maybe drop some hints and give people an idea of what your EIC, what your editorial directives are going to be moving forward. What does the landscape at Marvel Comic Books look like under your leadership, right? Because I know what it looked like under C.B. Cebulski, and I freaking hated it with the exception of a handful of titles.
Right.
There are a handful of titles that I absolutely love, and then most of them couldn't care less or absolutely abhor, right?
Here's a good example, right? Because I just talked to you about this. Avengers Armageddon, we genuinely don't give a shit about, right? I'm only picking up Armageddon because it's the big thing, it's the mainline thing. Unfortunately, I have physical copies of both issue 1 and 2, issue 1 for the Magic card and issue 2 for that Carol Danvers color block. But like, I couldn't tell you what's happening in Captain America. I didn't read Wolverine's like Weapons of Armageddon. Like, I just didn't care. The other day, though, I forget why, I was moved to go look back at an old like Planet Hulk issue. And you guys know what I ended up doing? I ended up reading like all of World War and Planet Hulk, all of the tie-ins, eating it all up because it was so cohesive and good and just quality. Like a genuine shift.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And so while there are still two big names that need to get lost, Nick Lowe and Jordan T. White,
well,
they need to be gone.
I also see Jordan White. Yes, but if we're okay, how do I put this? Like, yes, I agree with Jordan White, but if we're only doing two names, the other name's clearly no. It's Tom Brevoort. Tom Brevoort is the one who really needs to go because he's the one. He's the last him and Nick Lowe are the last remaining architects of the young Spider-Man mentality that has infected every fucking piece of media he's in.
Yeah, so if you get rid of Cebulski, Lowe, and Brevoort, and then Wacker's directive is to actually move Peter forward.
Well, Peter and just their universe in general.
Yeah, and you need to reinvigorate, because look, and though we don't know why this decision was made, unless it was in the article.
No, it's not in the article, but it's something like Kevin Feige actually realized like yesterday, like, wait, you're Akira Yoshi? You? Okay, no. We got. I don't know what the hell happened here. We're cleaning house. No.
What I more envision it being is them, Kevin Feige, and just the overall superseding Marvel Studios that now kind of presides over the comic book and the publishing now.
Marvel Entertainment
looks at just how week over week DC is eating Marvel's lunch right now in a way that hasn't happened since like 2016 when DC did the Rebirth era. And for several months, they were just kicking Marvel's ass. Why? Because DC decided to reinvigorate their fans. They brought back fans that had left from New 52 because they were like, you got rid of all my favorite characters, or you changed all my favorite characters. I'm gone. Like, you literally removed the reasons why I was interested in your universe. I'm out. See ya, bye. Well, they brought them back, and then they brought in new readers on top of that. Right now, DC is doing that. They still have plenty of books that need to be fixed and corrected, don't get me wrong, but they are still reinvigorating and getting enthusiasm back into the DC comic book universe. Even if, and this is a bit of an issue and needs to be corrected, even if most of that interest is strictly the absolute universe, you need to actually get some of that into your mainline universe as well, and that's going to require, like, reinvigorating interest in that, right?
Yes.
That's not easy to do, but you're going to have to do better than Ryan North on Flash. I'm sorry.
Or Ryan North on Fantastic Four.
Yeah, you gotta do better. Like, getting the safe plays. Scott Snyder didn't single-handedly boost DC into the top selling spots for comic books by playing it safe. Like, he didn't do that back in New 52 with Court of Owls. He didn't do that with Absolute Batman. You have to be willing to take some risks and actually, like, move forward. Right. Do something fresh. I don't need to see a repeat of things that I've read 24 times over the course of 30 years of reading comic books.
And to add to that, like, also, like more than just seeing old things, like, you guys become, what am I trying to say here? Like, you guys can't help yourselves anymore, in a sense of, like, when, like, look at the Ultimate Universe, right? And Absolute. Mm-hmm. There was a time when I would have said, Peach, Dennis, and Jonathan Hickman on the exact same level as Snyder, Sherman, and Aaron, right? Like, I would have said that you guys are doing exactly what you need to do. Over at DC, we saw that with that big house cleaning that resulted in everything, we got to change direction. They're letting that go, and they're letting Snyder kind of be the overarching architect.
They're letting the creatives be creatives and actually be like you just used the right word, architect. Right. You're letting the architect be the architect instead of saying you're the architect asterisk. Right.
Well, it's sort of like no, it's not sort of like you are correct in this, and they're letting. They want their Bendis era back. They're not letting anybody do it, but, Snyder's doing it over there with Absolute. The difference is where DC went, all right, we got to get our shit together because we are near death as a publisher. Marvel continues to let them get the better of themselves. And I bring it, I wish I had a better word or like turn of phrase. I know it's out there, but I can't land it. But with Ultimate Universe, that was really strong and it was going great. And even if you want, let's say the end of this saga was always going to be, we're going up against the Maker again. You didn't need to make it the line-wide event that destroys the universe, ends it, and then affects everything else that you have to go make 7 different miniseries for, Ultimate Reborn, Ultimate Impact, like...
So stupid.
They that's what I mean, like, Marvel let them, they went, Oh, this is successful? Well, of course, now we got to make it an event, and we've got to merchandise it out. We got to variant cover it to hell. And it's like, stop. Like, don't do that. You don't have to do that. You're going to get that quick buck off of issue 1, and then everybody's going to get really, really, really pissed off. Like we did. I haven't even bought the last 3 issues of Endgame. Because I was just I was just like, I don't care.
Like,
I'm not spending money.
I only saw the final pages to Endgame because you shared them with me.
I know.
And I was like, I'm so glad. You know, I could have afforded to spend whatever it would have been, 15 bucks total to get those 3 issues. Wasn't worth my time.
It really, really wasn't.
I had this much interest.
I didn't even want it to, like, finish out the collection. You know what I mean? Like, I've got all of that Ultimate X-Men. I've got all of Ultimate Spider-Man. I've got, you know, year 1, year 2.
I have all of Ultimates. I'm pretty sure I have all of Ultimates.
I have all of Ultimates. Yeah, I have all of that one too. And I had put in my head, like, someday it's nice to have, like, a goal, right? So, like, someday I'll get all of Black Panther, and that'll be something that I'll look for at, like, flea markets and stuff. Give me something to actually search out instead of paying, you know, whatever it is for Ultimate Black Panther 1. But no, couldn't let them do it. You had to be yourselves, and that was bad. And so that's where, like, in that interview that you're proposing from Wacker, I would want Wacker, somebody to ask him, like, what did you think of the decision to end the Ultimate Universe? And really, if his answer is anything but, like, it was dumb, like that has to be...
even if you want to play the political angle, right?
Yeah.
And you don't
Office
want to,
politics,
like, necessarily try and play the office politics and say, I think it might have been a premature decision.
You can say it nicely, but
if I was in charge, I would have allowed that to play out a lot longer.
I absolutely agree. So I don't know. I'm hopeful, right? Like it feels like Wacker will come in and say, we need to get our shit together. Like, because we also recently lost, remember, like, maybe like a month ago, maybe a couple weeks more, there was, like, that big, like, 4 editors four executives got cut from Marvel, and one of them was their publisher, like their president of publishing. And that guy was the one who was super responsible. Like, he spearheaded the charges on the cancel series and restart 'em initiative. Yeah. He's the one who really pushes like the Infinity stuff. Remember From the Ashes, the attempt to put, like, QR codes in comics for the final page? That was all him. So, like,
that lasted 5 minutes.
Because, and that's what I was getting to, is, like, you have, okay, I know I use this as the example all the time. Sony hack from way back in the day, from North Korea. There's an email. Way back in
the day, there was a Sony hack just like a month ago.
There's going to be a Sony hack probably, like, right now. PSN is probably down. Like, let's be completely honest with ourselves. But during that North Korea Sony hack, I think I bring it up all the time, guys. There's that email from a Sony executive emailing to, I believe, like, Mark Webb or what's her name? The woman who's in charge of, like, all the Spider-Man stuff. I forget it.
Oh, it was
the name that pops to mind is Amy Comey Barrett, but I know that's wrong. But it has that cadence.
No, but I'm pretty sure it isn't Amy, though, isn't it?
Right?
Oh gosh.
Is it Amy Pascal? Is that?
It was Amy Pascal.
Okay,
that's
so
what it was.
It was an email from an exec. Don't remember who. Just one of the generic C-suite dudes. Emails to Pascal, and he's like, "New Spider-Man movie. Hey, I just learned about this thing from my kids called Snapchat. I thought it would be cool if Spider-Man had a Snapchat where he could interact with all of his fans and they could ping him and I'm like, that is." You're, like, at that point, you are out of touch. Yeah, you are out of touch at that point. You need to go to the retirement home. Like, that is not a thing that happens.
Learn to code. Like, do something else, please.
Hello, fellow kids is kind of like what they were operating on, and that's what that feels like. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I'll say this, because we talk about, we do need to get rid of Brevoort, we do need to get rid of Lowe, but things do tend to trickle down.
Yeah.
Right? And so you do need to start with the top. Because if you start with the top and that person is the one in charge, because Nick Lowe still is going to have to answer to him.
Yes, exactly. He has to report to the big dog. So the Wacker has the final say to go, absolutely not. But
Yeah.
if you start with like, okay, let's get new writers on there, they still have to go through Lowe, and Lowe can say absolutely not.
Correct. And so you start up here, and that way somebody like Wacker can hopefully take a look at actual fan response and actual sales, and hopefully he's smart enough to have people around him who will provide him with proper contextual data, because data can be manipulated depending on the context, right? You could say, oh,
Yes.
well, Amazing Spider-Man's our #1 selling title, so clearly people are still buying it.
Technically,
you're
that's
also
true. Yeah.
You're putting out a bunch of, like, you know,
Variant
1 in
covers.
25s and 1 in 50s and things like that, where shops have to, they know they're going to be able to sell those covers by these top tier artists to their diehard fans. So they're ordering 100 copies of Amazing Spider-Man, whatever, right? And not all of those are selling. I know they're not, because they're still sitting on my store shelf.
Yeah.
And my store is actually pretty conservative about how they do
So
their
is
ordering.
mine. So is mine. Yep.
Like
We
my-
have smaller
my shop-
shops. Yeah.
On my store's like back issue walls, like you might have 1 or 2 issues of like a past issue there. You're
And then
not
everything
looking at a stack.
immediately goes in the long boxes.
Yeah,
Like, once
they're
you're
not
past that
futzing
point,
around
yeah.
with that, right? They're like, no, we want to get things that we know we're going to move, and that way we can stay nimble and we can be effective as a business. You know, we're trying to actually stay open and meet our lease and all things like that, right? Like we're
Feed our
not
kids
we're not dicking around by ordering 500 copies of, you know, Amazing Spider-Man 38
For fun,
you know, just-
because we think
just
everybody's going to buy
because-
it. Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't work like that. They're not Midtown Comics, okay? They can't just afford to dick around because they actually have some sense.
An
to
arguable monopoly as well. But hey, I mean, Midtown
Yeah.
deserves it. I like Midtown.
Sure, yeah, no, and they've got great sales all the time on their website and on their app and whatnot. But you have to have somebody in your corner who is going to actually give you the data. Like, okay, these are what we're looking at now in terms of what's our cover A's that are shipping,
Right.
What are being ordered by shops? Your cover A's, because your cover A's, those are primarily going to your subs. Because
Yeah.
if you have somebody that's your sub, you have a pull list at your shop, they are giving you cover A, right?
Unless you specify, like, hey, I want to grab the cover C.
Right, and as long as it's not like an incentive variant or whatever, a lot of shops will be cool about
Yeah.
that, or maybe they'll at least say, hey, like we'll set that one aside for you as well, right?
Right.
Like my shop gives me, unless it's like a high number incentive variant, they give me all the
Yeah.
Witchblade covers.
Right,
Every
exactly.
single time it comes in, even if it's a sketch cover, right? So like they'll just
Oh, you
put
mean
it in my box.
the blank sketch covers?
No, like
Oh,
the
okay,
ones
good.
that it's
Woo.
just like a line art variant.
Okay. Whew. I was gonna be like, that's dedication that they're even going for those pieces of shit.
Truth be told, that's probably one of the few books that I would do that with, because then I'd want to like meet, I don't know, Brett Booth or
Literally
somebody
anybody.
like
Everybody's
at a
done
con
something
one
for
of these
it.
days,
Yeah.
and be like, hey, like here's whatever.
But
Please.
that's why you
draw
buy them
something
at the
pretty on
con or whatever, right?
Right.
Like,
it. Right.
I'll
Yeah.
pay the $2 markup that you guys put on that issue to like $7 there to get it there, instead of buying it in anticipation of somebody I'll probably never meet.
Yeah. That's fair. Yeah.
But yeah, like I had so much to add, but like it really is just, hopefully he has a vision. He's not just kind of a puppet put in by like Disney or Marvel to get him, keep on keeping on. We could be seeing another Marvel Renaissance, genuinely, and I don't
want
say that.
to see
I
one.
do not say that lightly. Like, there's
I
potential
want to
here.
see one. And here's the thing. I say this as somebody who is in publishing, who's in comic books specifically, right? And you'll have people that, they'll celebrate downfalls and they'll celebrate things like that. And I get it. If somebody's been sticking it to you for a really long time, you're kind of going to feel some kind of way, pretty reasonably, right? Like, we've all been done pretty dirty by comic books at one point or another. And a lot of us even currently. But
Yes.
I want to see comics as a whole, as a medium, I want to see that grow. I want to see reinvigoration there, because here's the thing. If you increase the comic buying and reading audience, you have increased not just people who are going to read Marvel comics, not just people who are going to read DC comics. You've increased the potential pool of people who are interested in comics. So that means maybe they're checking out, the Ghost Machine stuff, right? Maybe they're checking out the Sonic stuff. Maybe they're checking out Inferno, right?
Yeah.
Maybe they're checking out any number of indies that are out there, because now they just enjoy comic books, right? And it's also, competition is the healthiest thing for consumers. Competition is the most pro-consumer thing. When you remove competition, you are elevating an anti-consumer market, because that's when you get into, potential monopolies. You're tightening the range of wiggle room for people to work with, right? In removing customer choice. That's one of the issues with, this isn't a gaming channel, but like that's one of the issues with people having a problem with, something like Sony saying they're going full digital, right? Because it's not that they are anti-digital games, it's that they don't like the anti-choice there. They don't like that now, okay, so if you remove physical, then games are only on Sony's in-house platform. They can price them however they want, and that's literally your only option, right? You can't just go to Target and Target's got a sale on the same game, and maybe it's $10 less, $20 less, whatever, right? It is strictly on that platform. So you want competition, and it's not just from a pricing perspective, it's also from just a quality perspective. When you had companies vying for customers' attention and dollar by trying to outdo each other, by putting out the best work they possibly can, that is the most pro-consumer market possible.
Well, you and I talk all the time, right, about how constraints are way more of a creatively, like they facilitate creativity more, right? Because instead of having a giant toy box, it's the, what is that called? Like the selection problem or whatever it's called, right? Where it's like you have all the stuff you can do. Maybe you do that. Oh, maybe
how often have you pulled up Netflix or HBO or whatever and just spent 20 minutes scrolling and then not even watching anything?
Right, exactly. And I think with Marvel especially, right, a lot of this I think links back to the MCU, because it all kind of lines up with, once the MCU took off, that's where this all sort of nosedived into, okay, let's use it for pet projects. They learned the wrong lessons. Well, they kind of didn't learn a lesson, is more of it. They went, oh, we can do we'll sell. We're the biggest shit on the block. And okay, that was true for a period.
And now you are the biggest shit on the block.
And now you are the literal biggest shit on the block. It's because you didn't have any constraints.
And that's why you have a new EIC.
Right, exactly. And so I think, look at the Absolute Universe. I keep bringing it up tonight a lot, but DC knew they had to do something. And it's because they were at the end of their, this is it. They went, Snyder, do this, and that's where they're not doing their bullshit.
And their Hail Mary play was an actual Hail Mary play.
If Absolute failed, this was done.
Yeah. A Hail Mary play isn't like
it's not just a long pass. Yeah, it's not just a long pass, guys.
Play action. Oh, he's open right here. Boom. That's not your Hail Mary. Your Hail Mary is your big swing, right? It's your swinging for the fences. It's like, you are down, bases are loaded, you're down by 3. You don't want to just tie it up, you want to finish this sucker, right? And so you're not gonna win just by bunting it and oh, maybe you get a man on. Oh, congratulations. Well, what if the next guy strikes out, right? And you're already at 2 and you're already at 2 outs, right? So you need to swing for the fences, and that's what DC did. That's why they let Scott Snyder take those big swings. And the danger with a big swing is sometimes you will whiff, but you will never clear the fences by bunting.
I love that. Oh my God, that was a perfect end stamp to it. I got goosebumps because like at this point, all I can add just feels like I'm explaining a joke because I'm gonna go like, oh yeah, all of these instances we saw. No, I don't know. I think Andrew really hit it. That was perfect right there. So I think, yeah, a new era, a brand new day is here at Marvel. If it were not for, and this is kind of what I've been saying in all of our like titles and things. If it were not like, this is cause and effect, right? If it were not for Marvel going, we're brand new daying this and we're taking on a new publishing initiative, we need a new guy. Get Stephen Wacker over here. Wacker would not be our EIC today, right?
Yeah.
Like, that, so like in a roundabout way, who would have been up here? Brevoort? Oh God, can you guys imagine?
Or worse. Nick Lowe.
Nick Lowe, right? It probably would have been Nick Lowe, and
because he would just be like, "Hey, I'm the head of editorial for our biggest title."
I was literally just about to say, remember the USA Today announcement thing where he was like, "I'm Nick Lowe," and it's like, dude.
And like
what?
Nobody knows who you are other than comic fans, and not one of those comic fans.
And
nobody, you.
It's not a positive reception. Like there is bad publicity. So, yeah, if Spider-Man Brand New Day ends up saving Marvel Comics, there's some Sisyphusian, there's some turn of phrase we'll have for it, because it will just be one of the more bonkers coincidences to happen in the world history. It's weird. Mm-hmm. Your worst comic book of all time that destroyed your biggest character brought in the tool you need to save yourself. And not only save yourself, but like go beyond again. Man, like see how lame that was? You had this really good narrative and put a stamp on it. And I'm just talking like fucking All Might. Like dub All Might. Like I'm just talking like, go beyond, we can do it. And good Lord. That's why we have that.
You have a very, very way of like taking all this like blathering that I say and succinctly bringing it down to like 4 words. I very much appreciate that.
Okay, so yeah, all right. With the Wacker news down, Andrew, we are at our 2-hour mark. Is there anything more you want to talk about? Obviously, as far as topics that we could talk about, we have another. Or there's 2 things. They're not really, I guess it's not really anything to add, but Joe Quesada just came out this week and said he wanted to make a sequel to One More Day, and he's continuing to do the thing where he goes,
and he would change he's still just a One More Day apologist and acts like everybody loves that book. He's an idiot. He's talented artist, absolute moron.
Like that is the straight shot of it, is that he's just a moron, because you and I talk about this all the time. If you can, like, in life, if you can take your L and just go like, oh yeah, that was my bad. Everybody gets past it.
Where is this hubris coming from? Like 99.999% of the Spider-Man fandom, like, openly hates One More Day, and that other 0.000 whatever 1% is lying and say that they.
And also, like, casual people, like, this is an event that is so consequential and it's got such a stink on it. Normal fans know about it. Casual people know, like, oh yeah, Spider-Man broke up with Mary. At the very least, they know that.
Yeah, Spider-Man sold his marriage and his unborn child to the devil. Yeah.
That sentence, guys, I've been using that sentence a lot, because when you put it like that,
if you want to summarize One More Day in a single sentence, it is Peter Parker sells his marriage to Mary Jane and the life of his unborn child to the devil to save his freaking older than 6 days or older than creation dying aunt.
Like, she was the one who picked the apple for the snake to give to Adam and Eve. You know what I mean? Like, absolutely bizarre. But because of his inability to just go, I wrote a bad storyline, every comic creator has a bad one, and most of them can go, my bad. I mean, shout out to Cy Spurrier. We bring him up all the time. Midway through Flash, he went, this isn't working. My bad, guys. I'm out of here. right? And
yeah, he said, I was trying to do something new. It wasn't working, and I just wasn't feeling it anymore. And to his credit, as much as I did not like that run,
exactly,
I will absolutely respect the hell out of him for being humble enough to just say, you know what, I couldn't do really anything else to offer with this character, so I'm gonna tap out and I'm gonna go do something else because I don't have anything else to offer here.
It taps, like, to me, it taps back to that, my favorite line from from the last Batman issue, right? Which was, oh my God, now it just completely, or maybe it's not the last one, but when, after Damian, like, says dad in front of, what's her name, super hot new Jorge Jimenez
hot doctor girl.
Yeah, hot doctor girl. And
hot girl drawn by Jorge Jimenez. It's like,
right?
That's literally just
all
any
of
girl
them?
drawn by Jorge Jimenez.
But there is, when he starts talking to, like, Ghost Alfred about, like, parenting Damian, right? There's a line in there where he goes, Batman is supposed to be infallible, and Alfred goes, but the Batman, yes, but the Batman is not his father. And he doesn't know how to lose gracefully because you've never modeled that for him, right?
Yeah.
And that's kind of what we need to get back to.
That's a good line.
It's fantastic, right? Like, I'll get a little deep here, or like a little personal here, but like, as a kid who grew up like without a dad, like, that is the kind of line where I'm just like, fuck, like, that hits so well.
Yeah.
I wish I had somebody to help, like, model what it looks like for a man to fail. Both in good societal pressures,
right?
Bad societal pressures, like, just how do I do it as who I am, right? Like, thank God for my mom, she did, but also back to Alfred, like, that is such a good line there. And that's what, like, Quesada's not losing gracefully. Like he is not showing I am a mature.
He's losing.
Not only is he not admitting that he's losing, like, he keeps saying that it's a monumental storyline and that the only people who don't like it are like 10 fans who keep making us think about it.
I mean, it's like, what are you doing? Like, sucking off Nick Lowe? Or are you sucking off each other? Because you're saying the same things effectively. Because Nick Lowe acts like only 10 people don't like One More Day.
But also, it's so blatantly wrong. You do one Google search for the name of that story, guys.
Yeah, that type of a claim, whether it's by Quesada, whether it's by Lowe, whether it's by some other jackass anywhere else on, shoot, you've even got, like, CBR and comicbook.com admitting that One More Day is a freaking problem, right?
Right.
Like, if those websites that constantly suck off the mainstream publishers, especially the big
they suck off every new development.
Yeah,
like I'm not even kidding. Yeah, or whatever the newest twist in a character is, they go, this is the hotness. Even if and then maybe 5 years later they'll go, that wasn't the hotness. But in the moment they always do. But they every single time, guys. I know this from deeper experience than you. No offense, but like from being at Bounding and looking at competitor stuff and getting tips. Like, those sites, any Spider-Man comic article ends with that stinger. That might be great. What are we going to do about Mary Jane?
Yeah,
every single one. So
all of them, even the mainstream trades. That's like that's very telling, honestly.
And so, like, my thesis, or like not my thesis, but the point I'm making with all this in terms of Quesada is, had Quesada just lost gracefully and went, I messed that up, I thought it would be good, like, whatever, okay, we can forgive that. But his continued insistence on lying so blatantly to our faces, and with that hubris Andrew mentioned, is like, I don't know if he realizes that. I mean, it's been like this for a while, but like, kind of to put like a label on it, like, that's his legacy now.
Yeah, your legacy is not only being the dude that had Peter Parker sell his marriage and his unborn child to the devil. But you're also the guy that was so unbelievably arrogant and filled with so much hubris that you acted like it was never a problem, and that only a handful of people disliked it. Like, that claim doesn't hold up to the most paltry of scrutiny.
Go ask the dumbest of AI summaries, man. Like, they'll give you what you need to know. So
yeah,
like,
you can even ask Grok, I'm sure. Even Grok's stupid ass is gonna be like, yeah, nobody likes One More Day, bro.
like I Grok developed sentience just to read it right now and tell you that I hated this storyline.
You're right.
And like, you know, you hinted at it at the beginning of this, like Quesada, you know, that shouldn't, for all intents and purposes, that should never have been his legacy. He is a good artist. You know, we were talking about that Bendis era, that Cebulski revival era.
Mm-hmm.
Joe was responsible for a lot of, you know, the good and the bad that got us there. Like, he revived things like Luke Cage. Like, he helped Bendis to do that. Like, he did a lot of good stuff. And honestly, if you guys, you know, a little bit of comic history, Quesada got his start by like starting an indie imprint, and then he went to Marvel and said, "You've got like 5 characters that you're doing nothing with. Let me help you." And they said, "Okay."
And him and Jimmy Palmiotti did Marvel Knights.
Marvel fucking Knights, guys! Like, it's crazy. So like that should have been his legacy.
Yeah.
Instead, he will forever be known as like the guy who wrote and defended and loved One More Day. I don't know, like, that sucks.
Yeah, but that is a bed of his own making.
Oh no, absolutely. I do not feel bad for him.
It is infested with bed bugs, and he chooses to continue to sleep
genuinely, at any moment, guys, he could get out of that bed.
Yeah.
This is not like you'll say it now. Well, it's late, so you have to spend 5 more years in the bug bed. It's the minute you say, "I messed up, and it was on me, and I'm sorry I've been acting this way," you're right out of the bed. Like, we might not invite you in, but we're not going to put you in the bug bed. You know what I mean? So, congrats, Joey Q. Wow. As we come to the end here, it's like we kind of went all in on like the mid 2000s of comics.
Yeah.
Like of Marvel especially. But Andrew, yes. Now we're at 2:15. Anything else you want to add?
I got nothing else. We put Quesada in his place. Hopefully he wakes up and learns some humility, because we're about intellectual honesty here, right?
Yes.
And so even though I abhor One More Day and abhor how he acts about it and his claims about it, the fact that it even freaking exists, he is still a fantastic artist.
Can't deny that. He does some variant covers every now and then, and I go, damn, that's good.
He did one for that Phoenix maxi series from a couple of years ago. He did a foil variant.
He
for
did.
That. It was
I have
gorgeous.
it. I have it. Because it is good.
It's a beautiful cover. It's like the dude can still draw. He just needs to actually admit, like, hey, one more day, guys. It wasn't the business.
It's just, and again, like, okay, if he wants to continue denying it, it's not going to affect anything. He doesn't work at Marvel anymore. It's not a political flashpoint or anything, but it just speaks to his character. And if somebody is so, like Andrew said,
the hubris speaks to his character, and it continually cements One More Day as his legacy instead of something like Marvel Knights.
So beware, guys. You know, just don't be a dick.
Pride goeth before a fall.
Pride goeth before or ribbit. I don't know. I was trying to make a Cyberfrog joke. It did not work out very well. I'll try again next week. But yeah, guys, I think, Andrew, you ready to get out of here?
Yep.
Alrighty.
I think we hit all we needed to on both the topic and the book front.
There is the Tom King thing, but we've already gone a little long. We can save that for when we get more Lantern stuff, whenever it comes up. I'm sure we'll talk Tom King at some point.
Oh, yeah.
The man is a disease that won't go away. But
comic book cancer.
All right, as we get out of here, Andrew, why don't you let the people know what you've got to promote, what you got going on, what do you want me to pull up, what do you want them to go buy, where do you want to go hang out with them? Subscribe, follow.
First off, make sure you guys are subscribed to The Rule of Requirement here on YouTube. That's a channel run by myself and Mary, and our buddy Dylan is one of the video editors on the channel. And I think we just put out 2 new videos this week. We have exclusive. It's either exclusive or early videos available for members. So check out the channel memberships as well, and the Patreon. That's worth taking a look at. Please give that your consideration. If you are a longtime Harry Potter fan and you want some like deep lore dives and some theory craft and things like that, we've got that for you. If you're a more fairly new Harry Potter fan and maybe you've only just gone through the books for the first time because you're anticipating the reboot franchise that's coming out this Christmas, we've got stuff for you as well. So we're trying to make our channel a hub for a wide range of, you know, knowledge levels when it comes to Harry Potter. So please check that out. We're very proud of everything we've been doing over there. Obviously, if you're not already subscribed here and you're new in the chat, we'd appreciate it if you fixed that. Hopefully you had a good time with us tonight. We always have a good time with you guys in the chat. Make sure you are subscribed and following the Caffeinated Wolf YouTube channel and Twitch channel. I'm trying to get back to promoting those because I am streaming more frequently now on them, gaming wise.
I gotta make a graphic for them. I don't even have the the copy paste stuff for the chat. That's how new this revival is.
Right? I mean, to be fair, it's been a really long time since I've done it with any level of consistency. So check those out. Those are my personal channels. I'm also working on a long form video essay series on my YouTube channel that's going to be multiple parts. It's going to be like, after all is said and done, it's going to be several hours. But it's
any hints to the topic? There we go.
It's dealing with the philosophy behind Xenoblade, actually.
Sign me the fuck up. I actually know nothing about that. I know big monster look cool and robot scale smash. That's all I really know. I don't even know.
That's all you need to know to want to play.
I mean, to be fair, that's what you guys all sold it to me on, and kind of holds.
That's absolutely. Absolutely. And then, guys, make sure you pre-order Arcstream Fall Start Issue 1. Final order cutoff is July 24th for
tomorrow.
For the 3 limited print covers that are exclusive to our website. That's covers A, which is the main cover, the throwback cover B, and the foil and embossed cover C. Cover D will still be available on the Rippaverse website. It's also available now on Barnes & Noble, Amazon, and Walmart and Target, I think.
So crazy.
Which is pretty wild to think about. The cover D.
This is like the third week we've been able to say that on the end, and it's still weird to me every time.
It's still super weird to think about and to say, but I'm very grateful for it. Issues 2 and 3, cover D, are also already available to pre-order on those platforms. We haven't even launched those pre-order campaigns on our website yet.
We're giving you the exclusive, guys. Go get on that. Get on it early. Secure your copies now.
Absolutely.
All right. So yeah, guys, like I said, 1 week from tomorrow, that's the final date for Arcstream Fall Start. Go get on that. Support Andrew. Support good comic books. Support more new Rippaverse, more superhero. I don't know what you want to say. It's gonna be great. We want to see more. Go pre-order it. All right. As for me, as always, guys, same bat time, same bat channel next week, right here for another new episode of Foil Variant. Following in Andrew's footsteps, I am also going to, I'm trying to get back to streaming, and I'm going to go live tomorrow morning. Tomorrow at 9:30 a.m. Pacific time tomorrow. Magic or Wizards of the Coast is announcing the new sets, the new Magic sets for next year.
It's 11 my time.
Yeah, so just we'll hang out. We'll see what they're going to announce. I'm mostly just interested in like what are our crossovers going to be this year. Just to can it be any worse than Star Trek? I'm not sure. So that I'll be back. Hopefully that'll be the kickoff of a more regular return. Aside from that, yeah, go subscribe to Andrew. Go follow us. All the links are down there in the description, from the Rippaverse pre-order to Room of Requirement. It's all there. We'll see you next week, I guess. Stephen Wacker, happy to have you aboard. Andrew, you got anything for us?
Best of luck. Now, guys, we'll see you next time.
And
don't
remember
forget
that the solicit copy is the sales copy. You've got to buy the issue to find out the real story. All right, we'll see you guys next week.
Never before have we had greater face a complex, rapidly changing world. Think of it a moment.
It is a world in which supersonic speeds are commonplace. It is a world that has seen the coming of the atomic bomb. It has seen the rise of the total state, the dictator, and the mass man. It is a world of new sensations, new excitements, new distractions.
So much to be learned by so many in so little time.
And I suppose you're here with no agenda, as per usual?
On the contrary, I'm here for comics. kind of man are you anyway? I'm talking comics and you bring up chicks and romance?